Welcome to McArthur Live. I am Tim Bartz, one of your hosts, and
Sarah Davis, your other host.
so we are here with you, and that's kind of more of the intro to the podcast than it is for you guys watching this on YouTube. So you can listen to this on any of your favorite podcasting platforms. We'll have it uploaded later tonight. Or if you're on the podcast, want to check out this live and see all the different questions and everybody chatting here on YouTube, then come on over and join us Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Central.
Tuesday night.
Wednesday last week. So, all right. So we are live, and guess what? I forgot to do again. Forgot to get my notes.
Uh-oh.
Yep. So, all right. So I'll be looking to my left a little bit. So, all right. So thank you guys very much for joining us. And don't forget, too, on top of that, if you're not subscribed to the channel, not sure what you're waiting on, we have a lot of fun every Tuesday night. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can get notified when we go live and when a video goes live too as well. So we had one go live, a couple Maverick ones this week already. Yesterday, what's the changes? Because there were more than just what they highlighted to us, which I learned that I'm not supposed to talk about anything from the broadcast. So so I will not. It's kind of like Bruno. Can't talk about it.
Don't talk about things on the podcast.
So yes, so there was a broadcast yesterday as well as one today. Really wasn't that. It was really more or less quite Q&A, but the one yesterday on Super Duty and Bronco Sport that I'm not allowed to talk about. So yeah, that's so hard for me. Anyway, so do check out those videos. We did the major changes for the Maverick yesterday, and there were some things that were not. So on the order guides, Ford will highlight a page that says major changes for this year. And so most years, I'll just take that, and that's what I do my videos on. Here are the major changes. But more recently, what I do is I actually deep dive and go through every page and compare last year's versus this year's. And I see what is different between the two, and found about five or six different changes from some of the packages that were not on that. So I found some things, as well as a color that is now available in the XL. So check out that video. Also, the XL trim video are complete guide videos that most of you probably started watching our channel because of went live at 6 o'clock today. So you can watch that, go back and watch it, or maybe some of you did watch it. So anyway, all right. Otherwise, let's see what else. I'm going to pull this up real quick while we're doing that.
I'm just finding all our member friends on here.
Don't forget to smash the like button, and yes, the membership as well. Why don't you talk to them about that?
Yeah, of course. So if you would like to become a member, you click that join button beside the subscribe button. You'll be taken to a page that shows you the perks that you get. And from there, you can click on it and become a member. If you are an Apple user, you have to do things a little bit differently. You have to go to your web browser, go up to the link at the top, click the little A and big A, and request desktop browser. At that point, you should be able to see it. Apple does things differently.
Yes, they do.
But Eric Kissel, you are one of our members. Your hypothesis, yes, we will talk about that later. But as a member, you get member perks. So you get a welcome package, member-only content. He does a lot walk each Saturday. We do a live once a week. We have a lot of fun. We have a Discord for our members. So we have a lot of fun. It's a really nice community. A lot of our members don't have orders with us, or they've already taken order, but they stay members for the community and to check in with us. So.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. Speaking of that, you want to welcome in some of our members? You ready for that?
I am. All right. One more. There we go. All righty. So we will start with Jay Rocker, who is a new member. Welcome, right. Jay. Welcome to the crew. Send me your information via email. We have Tim Foster. He says, hey, oh, wait, nope, that's for later. Got my airbag recall done today. Didn't finish in time for me to get it today. I told them to take their time. All is well, and that is MabSim.
Yes, let them take their time, because some people have had that recall done and had some issues with certain things after they do it because of some of the wiring.
Yeah. We have Kevin Sambus, who came out and picked up his vehicle last week. We had a lot of fun with him.
And we'll be back for the Maverick meetup.
Yes,
which
he will be.
We need to talk about different things, some of that stuff as well.
Okay. All right, we have Alan, who is greeting our wonderful moderator, Ridgeview. He says, hey, what's going on these days? Going to start getting ready for the road trip east. All right. And our other moderator, Niles, he is not here today, or he might jump in, he said, but he's on vacation right now, so.
I'll be headed towards him tomorrow. So he is in Wisconsin at Broncos Super Celebration.
Yes.
And it's where I'm headed tomorrow. So
yeah,
we'll join up. We're actually be doing some videos together at Bronco Super Celebrations with some of the vendors. So
we've needed him in more videos. All right, we have Francis. He says, I'm on time. Hello, everyone. Ridgeview mentioned last night he was pulling double duty, monitoring both at the same time. Both Johnny Car Care and Reviews live and Tim, because they went live together.
No, that was last week. What I did last night was that video I did on the what's in changes. I made a premiere video out of it.
Okay.
So I wasn't actually recorded it live, but we recorded it. And then it went as a premiere.
Okay,
so he was helping with that. And I tried to do on that one was have that go. I thought Johnny would be done by then, so people would hop right from Johnny's to ours. But Johnny went a little over, so
that makes more sense.
Yep. And I actually wanted to do it before All Train Nation because I thought they were going to be live.
So that shows how much I pay attention when I am not at work. If I am not on the clock, I am not paying that much attention.
So yes, so
I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old to get to bed at that time.
Which it was really kind of fun doing that video as a premiere because if people had questions, I was able to answer some of those. Maybe when we do those changes videos, we'll do that. So
I would like that.
Like on Bronco Sport and such.
Branson MG says hello. We have Ghost Stang saying this episode should be very interesting. We have Gene Hanks, beautiful afternoon in North Mississippi. Elizabeth Kittrell, evening, everybody. Let's see. We have Mid-Coast, Maine. Warm and humid greetings from Maine Coast. We have Purdue Guy and LB. Ooh, the air conditioning just kicked on.
I know, and I raised it up to 74.
Oh, well, I'm hot. So
it was at 73, and I went and raised it up. So, I don't know.
Well, it's like 90 out.
I know.
So it's going to kick it on because it's going to just get hotter in here. Ray Ann says hello from Ohio. Rick and Kelly is here with us. We have James Chapman. Good evening, everyone. And then we have Stephen Hardis. He joined us within the past week. So long-time watcher, first-time live broadcast as a new member. Hopefully getting my 23 Maverick Lariat and the 24 rollover orders. So there we go.
All right. Well, thank you to all
Lots
those
of
members
here.
Yeah.
Questions. We will be doing questions at the end. So if I'm not calling out your question, it's because it doesn't pertain to the subject that we are currently discussing, or I know that we're going to discuss it at a later time, and so I'm saving it for our Q&A, or I know he's going to discuss it, so I'm not going to call that one out. So
now, I do like the idea, if when I'm talking about scheduling information or dealer news, if it has related to what I just discussed, maybe throw in, that so that we can kind of grab some of those questions.
Yeah.
If we talk about scheduling information and you have questions about constraints or things we just talked about during that segment, then let's pop those questions in there.
Yeah.
That kind of breaks it up, gives you a chance to talk a little bit too. Gives me a break.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. Talked about videos this week. Of course, we got tomorrow. We'll have the XLT video for the Maverick. We'll go live, and the next day, Thursday, we'll have the Lariat video go live. So those I got recorded today, and Sarah's gonna edit those the next couple of days while I'm gone. Yeah. Let's see what else.
I get a lot more done when he's not here.
I don't know about that.
I do.
I help keep you on task. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. What else? Channels we support. There are some channels down in the description. Check those out if you're looking for other content when it comes to Maverick Bronco stuff. Check out the channels that we support down in there. Of course, and Johnny is a big one because I feel like Johnny and our channels are similar because Johnny is a sales consultant at a Canadian dealership, and so he's from Canada. We're from U.S.,
Oh wait, I
but we
didn't know
both.
that.
Yes. He actually,
Okay.
and I didn't know what I knew he worked at a dealer, but I wasn't sure what
Okay.
level until last night. Someone asked him, and he shared. So
Okay.
I figured that out. So
'Cause I did not know that.
yeah. So, we have both of us are that we want to cover some of the Ford stuff and get information and help customers. And I love their dealership there and their concept and everything. And so we really try to help customers out. And that's why we do the video content is to help customers to get their vehicles and orders and educate them. But neither one of us are at that level where we're like journalists that get extra access or early access to things because for Ford, they will not give us early access as dealers. So we're kind of both in the kind of same situation. But also we have, of course, All Train Nation. They are journalists and they do a great job. It's some great Bronco content and they're actually a little jealous. Again, this is a concept. This is something that we don't get an opportunity to do because we're not journalists. They're at Bronco Off Rodeo for Raptor. Bronco Raptor Off Rodeo. That's where they're at this week. Yeah, I'm a little jealous about that. Anyway, that's fine.
You get to go to Supercell though. Supercell, Wisconsin.
Yes, we're gonna go to Supercell, Wisconsin. All right. Anything else? Yeah, traveling. Yeah, we're gonna be going to Bronco Supercell tomorrow. I'll be doing some content for our members. We'll do a special member live walkthrough. Well, I usually do a lot walk, so we'll do a Bronco walk.
Bronco walk. Oh, someone said that they want Barbara to do a cameo appearance.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Do you think you can get her in the background? If you are a member, she's in the background of some of our Washington and Carlisle stuff.
Yeah, she doesn't even like her picture taken.
No, there's our family pictures. Half the time, she's the one that takes them.
Yeah, she loves taking photos and videos. She doesn't like them taken of her. So so we'll see. Anyway, but yes. So, but you can always, when you come to these events, you get a chance to meet her. When we go to Bronco Supercell, she's coming with me. So a lot of people get a chance to meet her and talk to her, and everybody loves her.
Maverick Meetup, she'll be there.
Yeah, she'll be at Maverick Meetup as well. So, and she's she's an extrovert. I'm an introvert. So she comes to the events.
I'm an extroverted introvert. Yeah. I have a mix of both.
Yes, I do. If
it's something that he can talk about,
if I feel
passionate
comfortable
about,
yes,
like cars, he can go on and on and on for a day. Anything else,
just don't tell me what do you think, and I'll just go on and on. Okay, all right, ready for our good dealer moment? We have one here.
Let me read this.
You left that up.
Oh, there we go. All right. Our good dealer moment says, hi, shout out to Bonnell Motors in Winchester, Massachusetts, outside Boston. Sales manager Mark Donavaro and salesperson David Hurley are both great. Took delivery of my Maverick Hybrid Lariat Lux this week with sunroof, co-pilot, and co-pilot assist. They put my order into the system first thing in the morning on September 16th. It was built the week of 6/5 and delivered to me 7/5. The dealership did 100% of what they said they would do as far as order entry speed, priority code, price protection, etc. Also had a spray and bed liner installed locally the day after the truck arrived. A friend ordered the exact same vehicle, same color, same options from a different nearby dealer who sat on the order for 3 or 4 days before entering it with a poor priority code. This vehicle will most likely be deferred to 24 model year, so I appreciate Bonnell Ford even more. Thanks.
All right, there you go. It's always good getting good dealer because, we do like to, in a lot of my videos, I say find a good local dealer to you. And so there you go. So there's a good dealer in Massachusetts that you can go to right there. So we need to get all those, and we do need to compile those. Now, forgot to mention a little celebration here. Today, this is episode 100.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Let me
Wait, you
blurry
should have done
camera.
that.
So episode 100. So yes, believe it or not, we've done 100 of these. The very first episode was a strictly Q&A.
Yes.
Just a Q&A on the Maverick, and gone from there. So there you go. 100 episodes later, here we are. So there you go. All right. We've done some other, I say 100th YouTube episode. So 100 weeks in a row. We've not missed a week in the first 100 episodes.
Yep.
Every week we are here. 1 week we were on a Wednesday. A couple were recorded.
Yep.
But otherwise, here
we have had a video go live.
Yep.
Every week.
And technically, if you're looking at the podcasting, they're all recorded for you. So, so the one recorded wasn't any different.
Yeah.
We've done a few on Facebook, and I don't consider that in the number. This is the weekly episodes that we do for you guys. It goes over all this. So, we've come a long ways, including doing scheduling information, which we are going to do right now. So, by the way, I'm doing double duty. So, as I do these, I'm writing down the timestamps so that I can put those timestamps in for you guys tonight. So, if you're wondering what I'm doing over here, that's what I'm doing. I'm getting these timestamps so that I can, I got to get out of here and get packed up tonight. So, I can get on the road first thing in the morning. All right. Scheduling information. I do. Ford for dealers updated this just a little bit. Not only did they give us information of what scheduling, also the commodity and capacity information, but they also put in there if the order bank's open or not for retail and stock. That's pretty cool. So we'll share that every week as long as they keep doing this. But before we do that, forgot to do this. So we're going to be talking about some things that some of you may not be aware of. If you're new to the channel, you may go, what does all these terminologies mean? Here we go. So when we talk about the order bank, that is where dealers place orders, stock and retail orders. So they place that order in there, and that's how they get inventory. They have to get in inventory by putting an order in the order bank, whether it be a stock or retail order. So what is the difference? Retail order is a order that is placed for a customer. So that is what they call retail order. Means it's already sold in their minds. So when that vehicle comes in, it is for a certain person. Stock order, that is what a dealer can order to go on their lot when it comes in to be sold to whoever. It's not specifically built for any one person. Priority codes, I need to update this because now they have opened this up. But priority codes, priorities, a dealer gives a certain priority code to each order. Now we can use 03 through 19 for retail orders. Those are customer placed orders. 20 to 80 is for stock orders. So we can even, as a dealer, we can stack our stock orders by which ones we want the most. So like we just recently on F-150 wanted a bunch of regular cabs scheduled because we're out of lightning bolts. We needed some regular cabs. So we gave them a 20, whereas we maybe gave, a different other build for stock an 80. So that way those will be looked at first. Of course, the lower of that number, the better. Scheduling. When Ford schedules an order for production dates in the future months. So when we talk about we're going to talk about scheduling. That means this week, Ford is going to be scheduling orders for production dates in the future. And a production date is when your vehicle is going to be built, or Ford plans to build it, which could move, and depending on their availability of parts. Allocations. Ford gives dealers allocations to schedule their orders, whether it be stock or retail. They're all used with those allocations. A dealer needs an allocation to schedule an order in the order bank. If they don't have an allocation for a certain model, then they will not get any orders scheduled. Dealers earn allocations from their sales from each model within their region, except for, mostly Maverick for this year. 65% anyway. Constraints, that would be options that are in short supply or may take longer to build, and that's why the capacity is lower, or there's a constraint to that particular option that you might choose on your order. And then the capacity is the planned production rate for a given motor, trim, option, whatever it might be. So we talk about capacity, what Ford's capacity is for certain option. That's what we mean there. And then job 1 and 2, Ford will usually run a production year in 2 different job runs in case they need to make some changes halfway through the year. They'll split it into a job 1 and a job 2 and balance out. Balance out means that they are closing out the production for a certain option or a particular model altogether. So there you go. So if I need to flash it on the screen later, let Sarah know.
Yeah.
So, all right. Going first on the 2024 Mustang, looks like they are doing retail scheduling only this week. And they do have some limited availability on Dark Horse handling package. The Mustang Night Pony package also limited. The 19-inch Premier is what they call it, polished wheel. That is the wheel that is 642 is that option for that wheel. That is in limited availability. Also, the 19-inch Shadow Silver painted aluminum wheel, 64V as in Victor, is also in limited availability. And the premium painted alloy wheel, 64M, is also in limited availability. Exhaust availability is the 18-inch painted aluminum wheel, 64F. So having some issues with wheels, looks like. So getting them in. So when you have new wheels, that happens. Order banks are open for the 24 Mustang right now for retail and stock orders. So let's see here. 23 Escape retail scheduling is they're doing retail scheduling only this week. Okay, so there is limited availability on several one of these, and they should have just put what they are going to schedule for, because limited availability for Escape plug-in. Also, they also mentioned within that the 18-inch wheel. Well, if the others already limited, then we'll just include that with it. Also, limited availability for active front-wheel drive, platinum front-wheel drive, and the ST line front and all-wheel drives. So for most of those model lines, if you're all-wheel drive on the active and the platinum, you're good to go there. Probably can get scheduled. Otherwise, there are some limited availability. We only have one allocation this month on the Escape, so it doesn't look like they're doing pretty limited run. Probably because allocations. We talk about allocations. The dealer earns a certain number of allocations, but then they'll deduct based on your availability. So they'll look at, giving you, like for us, hey, you have, here's the allocation numbers we're going to give you, but we looked and see what you have in stock, and you have 6 Escapes out there. So because of that, we're only going to give you 1. So that's probably how that happens. We're probably going to get 6, and because of our availability on our lot, now that's been dwindled down to 1. That is why it's very important for dealers to sell their inventory by the 20th of each month and have 0 at that time, because that is the snapshot that Ford uses to dictate whether or not you're going to get allocations. Order banks for the gas version is open right now. Plug-in is closed. And then stock orders are open for the Escape. 23 Bronco Sport. Retail scheduling only. This is the closeout month. So balance out month, I should say, which means they're going to schedule to finish out. We have 10 allocations this month, but that is for a 7-week run of Bronco Sports. So that's about right, because normally we get about 6. The order banks are open right now for 23. Those will close here real shortly. I think I got a notice about that. Order banks will close for the Bronco Sport in preparation for the 24 order banks to open. Stock orders can be put in. So 24 model year Edge, we do have 2 allocations. Retail scheduling only this week. Limited limited availability to schedule the 20-inch polished aluminum wheel, that's 64Q option, and the 18-inch split spoke sparkle silver painted aluminum wheel. It's a lot of S's. Option 64F. Right now, the order banks are open for retail and stock on those. And remember, this is the last year for the Edge. So, let's see. Bronco, 23 model year Bronco. Specialty scheduling only. Specialty usually means Raptor, Heritage Edition, Heritage Limited Edition. That's pretty much it. So that's this week. They're planning to do that. We actually have 8 allocations. We started off a couple of weeks ago. It said we were only going to get like 6 or 7, but we're getting like 2 Raptors. So then they gave us 8 because they have to cover up the Raptor allocation. So I think we're going to get one of those scheduled this week. Anyway, so some things to keep in mind. Don't forget, base, Everglades, manual transmission, Badlands with the optional wheel are balanced out for 23. That means that their production run is done. Also, Heritage and Heritage Limited Edition for 2 and 4-door are delayed production and scheduling right now. So some people have asked me about that on the Heritage Edition. What's going on there? I don't know. This is all I have. So Raptor, Heritage Edition, Heritage Limited Edition are not available for retail ordering. says you can put it into stock, but you're not going to get one. Maybe a Raptor. Limited availability on two-door and hardtop remain a constraint. So still having issues, of course, with those. And we know retail order bank is open still for most trim levels of the Bronco. I would say most. I'd say half. So what is that? A Big Bend you can order, Outer Banks, Badlands, Wild Track, Black Diamond. Forgot Black Diamond. Black Diamond 5. So in fact, we got a Black Diamond in. Somebody didn't take recently. So with the dual top. So badly want. I'll take that hard top. Just put the cloth top on it. We'll just scratch out dual top.
Yeah.
Anyway, but Heritage Heritage Unlimited and Raptor are closed, as well as Base and Everglades for this model year. So, yeah, people have asked about 24 model year. I don't know anything yet. We know production is going, I think, through October-ish, maybe into November. So probably we'll hear something in August about Bronco. All right, 23 model year Explorer. We have 11 allocations for that model. They are scheduling for production weeks in September. Retail scheduling, it looks like. And don't forget, base 100A are retail orders only. And then limit availability for the ST line and for the ST high performance package. That's option 68T. Order banks are closed for the hybrid version, but they're open for the retail version for the other versions, and stock is also open. So 24 Expedition. So 23 is done scheduling. We're going to start scheduling for 24 Expedition soon. We have one allocation for the launch. It says no scheduling this week. 23 model year has balanced out, means that they have the number that they need for the finish out the production. Option 91D, that's the rear entertainment system accessory, is unlimited availability. It says a number of 24 model year retail orders are affected. Remove, and not only in all caps, but in bold in all caps, says remove this option to enable the orders to be eligible for scheduling. And the order banks are open for Expedition for 24 model years. Of course, it just opened up. 23 Maverick. We have 7 allocations this month. Retail scheduling only. It'd be really cool if all of ours scheduled this week, because then we'd know exactly who is carrying over, right? If we had all 7 of ours, and some of your dealers out there will be in that situation. If they schedule this Thursday, then they'll know before the order banks open up, here's what we have, because we've scheduled all of ours for 23 model year. That would be great. Some will carry over, and the reason they're like a lot of times all of ours will schedule is because we have something of everything they're looking for. So because of that, we use all of ours, but some dealers may only have a few orders. And if, let's say, the orders they have available, they have, let's say, 1 allocation, but the orders they have like a constraint, they won't schedule. So that'll carry to the next week until they make a change on one of those orders. Order banks are closed for 23 model year. It does say stock ordering is available and open. And then 24 is next week. 24 model years next week. Hope everybody's ready. We'll talk more about that today. All right, 24 model year Ranger, Raptor scheduling only for this week. We do have one that they did ask us for that order number, so ours should schedule this week. We do have 4 allocations for the month for Ranger, not just Ranger Raptor. We should get 1 Ranger Raptor. Does say remind people on the Ranger Raptor to remove the DIO, the spare tire lock. They're not doing that on the Raptor, and order banks are open for the 24 Ranger.
Scheduling is announced on Thursdays. So if you get scheduled, it's done on Thursday.
Yes. When yours get scheduled, they do scheduling on Thursdays. So, All right. 23 model year F-150. Let's see. We have 38 allocations. 11 of those are supposed to go to the Lightning, and we only have 2 unscheduled orders, so we might get some stock Lightnings get scheduled, I guess. I'm not sure what we're doing there. Anyway, they're scheduling for production weeks from the week of July 31st to August 7th. Wake up, Sarah.
No, it's to put the boys to bed.
Well, you're not there.
No, I'm not. Neither is Will. So
really? Anyway,
you have to start at 7:30 for them to be in bed by 8:30.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So they are scheduling for the weeks of July 31st through the weeks of August 7th. They do need engine 99.8, which is a 3.5 liter EcoBoost engine orders to schedule. So those would be our EcoBoost ones right there. All right. Retail order banks are open for the F-150 and stock as well. And that includes the Lightning right now. So you can't order a Lightning. So keep that in mind as well. And we're going to talk about incentives in just a little bit. And there's a pretty good incentive right now for the Lightning. And if you're in the KC or Memphis region, extra $1,000 bonus cash if you order a Lightning right now. So in the month of July. So let's see here. What else? Yeah. 23 Super Duty. Don't want to forget that. We have 76 allocations. 38 of them are supposed to be used this week.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. They are scheduling this week for production weeks July 31st through basically through August, the week of August 28th. So they're gonna like I said, they're gonna schedule this month for 13 weeks of production, but they won't be all at once. So they're gonna schedule like some of ours this week for the weeks in August, and then probably in a couple weeks they'll schedule, or maybe next week they'll probably schedule for the month of September, and then actually I guess that's it. It's the month of September, August, and then the rest of July. So
that's all.
Yeah, because they're depending on the factory that is. Cabin chassis are going to be built in Ohio through October 29th, I think. Whereas the Kentucky truck plant, which does cabin chassis as well as the bodies and the beds on the 250s and 350s, those are built in Kentucky. They're doing that through October 1st. So, all right. Does say 24 model year Super Duty retail order bank is opening on July 17th. We'll talk about that again in just a little bit as a dealer update. Let's see. Final 23 model year orders are due on August 3rd. So basically, final orders, any changes have to be made by August 3rd because that's when they're going to be done scheduling. So anyway, let's see here. All King Ranch Platinum orders were mass spec changed to include the multi-contoured seat removal option 91X on June 20th. So if you have one of those Platinum or King Ranch, it will not be built with the multi-contoured seat. Also, very limited scheduling or availability on F550, as well as limited King Ranch and Platinum. So they did say this month they were going to schedule in full max on those, but it doesn't look like it's happening this week. Well, actually, maybe not, because it actually does say right there very limited on those three. So looks like this week may not be the week they're going to schedule some of those vehicles. Let's see, limit availability for the 20-inch chrome wheel. That's $649. Also, limit availability for the 168-inch wheelbase on the XL, XLT, 350, 450, 550 cabin chassis. That is the W68 wheelbase. And then the 205-inch wheelbase that's optional on the XL, XLT, 450s, 550s, 600 cabin chassis are also limited. Okay. Also, exhausted availability means that they probably won't schedule any of these. And that's the heavy-duty alternator, which is standard on the XL gas. Also, the 19.5-inch traction, the BSW traction tire that's standard on the F450. Also, Star White Tri-Coat. There you go. So that color there. Exhausted availability on the 600 4x4s and gooseneck dual hitch kit, as well as the 4-corner strobe light system. So, and order banks are closed right now on 23 Super Duty. Stock is open, and 24 we'll talk about in just a little bit. All right, 23 model year Mustang Mach-E retail. We have 2 allocations for that. Retail scheduling only. Limited availability for the Mach-E California Route 1 all-wheel drive, as well as the Select rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive, and the 18-inch painted aluminum wheel option $649. I think that's optional wheel on the Premier. Also, which it's limited anyway on the Select anyway. But order banks are open for retail and stock on the Mach-E. That's what they're calling 23.5 model year. All right. Transit Connect van and wagon is scheduling this week. We have 0 allocations on those. We only have a couple orders that need to be done. This is the last year for Transit Connect. Order banks are closed for the van and wagon for retail, but they are open for stock orders. All right. 23 model year Transit, last vehicle here. We have 0 allocations this month, which is a shame. We have like 8 orders need scheduled. Production, they're scheduling for the weeks of September 4th and September 11th. This is no scheduling for ICE orders. So it looks like they're only scheduling for the e-transit, which is probably why we didn't get any, because we don't have an e-transit order. Orders are needed from dealers for remaining BEV commodity allocations and on high and low roof. No constraints on the BEV. Limit availability for the other transits. Well, we don't need to talk about that since we're not scheduling for those. So, yeah. I think if we're not scheduling that week, we'll just kind of skip some of that. But same constraints that they had for the others. There you go. All right. And the order banks are closed for the gas transit. And then they are open for the e-transit and for stock transit orders. There we go. Any questions about any of that stuff?
Yes.
Great. I can like tickle on my nose. Okay.
But first, Donald says, here's to you after 1 year anniversary. Thank you.
Actually, it's episode 100.
Yeah.
Which we figured out
in 4 more episodes, that would be 2 years.
Right? 52.
In November, that'll be 1 year for me.
Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Anything else? Thank you for the donation.
Yes.
I didn't have to do that. I appreciate that. So, and he ordered an F-150 from us, so he can deliver it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Branson MG says, do they email the VIN when you get scheduled?
You get an email with the VIN number on it.
Yes.
And when you're currently scheduled to be produced. Yes.
Yep. I have a couple of Maverick questions. We're going to hold off on Maverick questions until after our topic tonight.
Our topic's more on price protection.
Well, these are price protection Maverick questions.
Okay. There you go.
We're holding off on them. Ford Explorer 24 bank opening ?
Yeah, we so that's a great question. Kind of like F-150, both the Explorer and F-150 have kind of a refresh model year here, so it'll look a little different this year. And whenever they do that, they tend to make that a shorter run, like they did on Super Duty. Was a 9-month run for Super Duty in 23. It's 13 months this year. Oops. I can't talk about that.
You didn't hear that.
I didn't hear that. Not a big deal, but anyway, I guess it is to some people. So whenever they do that, when they have a new model, usually the previous one runs a little longer. So F-150 and Explorer, I think, are running into like November or through November, maybe even close to the very end of November. And so we probably will get more information on Explorer and F-150 2 months prior to that. So we're talking probably September-ish when we see order banks open up for the Explorer. So, and since Explorer is getting a kind of a different look as well as F-150, they might even be a special reveal or something like that coming out, and some teasers as well.
Yeah.
And they'll usually run those teasers along with it when they do a new kind of look there. So, but yeah, a lot of people asking about Explorer lately. And yes, that's since it is going to be a new open, kind of a refreshed model. It will start late in the year, so they'll start making that, I think, in December, or late November. So,
all right. Francis says, did Tim just say 2-door hardtops are a problem on the regular Bronco?
2 and 4-door was still a constraint.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Major constraint. I didn't actually this week. They didn't put the link for the commodity report, so I don't have any of those numbers of how many orders there are. So it looked like they put the note in there, but then forgot the attachment. So I actually was going to look before the live stream to see if it was there, just to see if we could see some of those numbers, because I know some of you guys like to get those. But as of this morning, the attachment wasn't there, so I couldn't see that in Webdo. So let me look and see. And Webdo is the ordering system. Don't ask me what the abbreviation means. I don't know. I'm sure it's somewhere. Yeah, so that's Sarah can see it. So there's a line that says see attachment, and usually right below that's attachment. There's no attachment. So anyway, so we don't have that for this week, but
All right. Next one. Hi, Tim and Sarah. Question for Tim on the Heritage Edition. In notes on scheduling, it says delayed scheduling and delayed production. What does that mean?
It means that right now they're delaying any scheduling of Heritage Editions and any production. So if they are produced, I could see probably if you have a week, let's say yours is already scheduled, then I could see that probably those build dates are getting moved. So if yours is supposed to be scheduled like this week to be built, it probably isn't happening. They're probably moving it back a week. So not sure. I know they were a bunch of them are hitting dealerships and going out. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but
to build on that, what's your feel on what delays on Bronco Heritage? Do you think that could result in private offer if they roll to 24?
Okay, so well, maybe. So Heritage Editions are they won't, because they warn dealers don't take more than what your number is. So if yours gets rolled over 24, you will not get price protected. They said that won't happen. And since they gave dealers the estimate of what to take, and here's how many Heritage Editions you should actually, I don't even know if Heritage Edition was on that list. But because they gave those estimates and don't take more than this many orders, they are not planning to do any private offers for 24, for transitioning from 23 to 24. Now, for people that are already scheduled, you have a VIN that's going to be built. Now, if it doesn't, then they will give you a private offer if that VIN has to roll over. Because what they'll do, they had that happen on about 3 models last year from 22 to 23, where they gave it a VIN number and they were not able to build them. And so they had to cancel those VIN numbers and reissue them. So what they did is they pulled that order in to the order bank for the next model year and gave them immediately a priority 2, and they scheduled them first. And those people did get, well, all the people got private offers, but they would do that for those customers since they have actually had a VIN number. So,
all right.
Anything else?
When will the Ford website update the 24 Bronco?
We don't even have any information on Bronco yet. So,
all right.
So that'll typically, and you'll see on a couple that we're going to talk about right now, because there's the dealer news update. So I'm going to talk about what's on these reports, not on the webcast. Then I'm going to give this information that you'll see a lot of times those build and price do not go live until the order bank opens. So, and right now you can order a Bronco. So that's probably another reason why I won't see any information for 24 is because right now you can order one, except for I know some people on the Everglades and the Bays are waiting because that's what they want.
Yeah.
And so that'd be why 24 is important to them and why they're not putting an order in right now. So
yeah.
Anything else?
Do we know what the plant daily rate is on Super Duty? How many days per week are they working? And does Kentucky plant do public tours?
Okay, well, I don't know about the public tours, but I can tell you that they do not give dealers any of that information. Nope. None. They're very tight about that.
Get mad at their dealers because they won't give them information. Half the time, we don't even have the information.
No, Ford knows that if they tell dealers it'll get out there. They'll tell their customers. Their customers will go on to social media, and then it's out there.
In case you didn't know, salesmen tend to just spill everything.
Well, I mean, a lot of times, we're going to talk about that with the webcast, is that Ford does like the webcast to help educate the sales staff and the dealerships so that when their customers come in and ask them questions about the order banks and such like that, then they have the answers for them. But they don't want it out there on social media. Well, what usually happens, and this is where I get frustrated, is you have somebody that might relate an information to a person that then relates that in. Have you ever played the game Telephone?
Yeah.
Where the first person has the exact phrase.
Yeah.
And then they tell the second person, by the time it gets to the 10th person, it's not even close to what it was started at. That's exactly what happens when they give the information to dealers, and then the management staff gives it down to the salespeople, and every salesperson hears it differently. Yeah. And then when their customer comes in, it starts this way, and then it's evolved because it sounded like it should be this instead of that. And then by the time, and then that person puts on social media, and then by then it's not even what Ford said it was.
Yeah.
So which frustrates me is why we can't take that information and go ahead and let them have that. Now I do understand, and I do have a problem with this, is when dealers or someone puts a graphic out onto social media and they don't explain anything. They said, here you go. good luck figuring that out. Like somebody was doing that on some of the forums for Bronco 6G and some others. They were posting that image of the commodity and not explaining what any of that stuff means. That's why I feel like Ford, and I don't know if either they're not watching our live streams or they know that the difference is that we explain what that stuff means for you guys. So, which I think it's the latter of that, but that's why they really haven't said too much other than they keep harping that on those broadcasts, those are confidential documents not to be shared.
Yes.
And I said, okay, can I talk about it? And no is what my answer was. So,
all right, last question. We have priority 01 on Super Duty. Will it schedule this week?
Okay, a 01 does put it as the highest priority. That means Ford wants to schedule that particular order. Very rare to see an 01. A lot of times you'll see an 02. The region will take it to an 02. And the factory, in fact, they even said, okay, I guess that was on the broadcast. I can't say that. Sometimes Ford will bring an order down to 02 for some reason. Like it was a anyway,
okay, so last year
they'll bring it down.
When we rolled from 23 or 22 to 23, they moved those that got canceled to a 2.
That's an example. There you go. We can do that, right? So sometimes they'll go to 02. 01, usually they reserve those for like Raptors that are manually allocated, Dark Horse, those vehicles typically. So you have an 01, then they really want to schedule that order.
Yes.
So as long as your dealer has an allocation, it'll probably get scheduled.
Yep.
More than likely. All right. This is difficult to not.
I got you. Just go, Sarah. Take it. I'll take it over.
Yeah, but you're the dealer too. So,
but I can I will find a way to say it without giving the examples because I have not heard the broadcast.
No, you didn't. You have not seen the broadcast.
I have not seen
I haven't talked
the broadcast, and he has not talked about it to me because I've had my headphones in working.
You've been busy.
I've been busy, so I have not heard the broadcast or heard any of the things from the broadcast. So I can come up with examples that aren't part of the broadcast, or I hope they're not part of the broadcast because I don't know.
Yep. All right. Any other questions before we move on?
No,
and if questions come up, and just put it in there, we'll answer them at the end.
Yeah. It helps if you put Sarah Davis. That catches my eye.
Yeah, because she can see it. It highlights orange. All right.
I need to switch chairs. This chair hurts my back.
All right, you do that. Okay, dealer news updates. So here are some things, and if you have any questions on anything, these things that we talk about, which really there's only a couple in here, so there probably won't be a lot of questions on it. At least questions I can answer publicly online. All right. First one is on the 24 model year Super Duty order bank open details. Again, this isn't a dealer memo, not so. It says inform your staff that the 24 model year Super Duty order bank will be opening July 17th, 2023. It does mention there's a link to the broadcast for people to go. It was a recorded broadcast that they can go in there and learn a little bit more. They do say in here that the order guide will be published on FMC Dealer for dealers July 17th. So the order guide will not be available on the Bronco or on the Super Duty prior to probably the morning of. The order banks will be available, or the order guides will be available in the morning. The order banks probably will not open up until later that day. So at least dealers will have it, and they'll have an hour or two to learn. It's only like a 50-page document order guide, but yeah, let's give them a couple hours. That's all they need. And I think that's mainly because there's not a lot of changes for this year. This is more of a rollover because last year was a short production run. This year is longer. So anyway, so that way there aren't a lot of changes. So also build and price though will be available in September. Yeah, just build out a 23. You should be pretty close. All right. Anyway, yeah. So there was information on the broadcast about production allocation, all that kind of stuff. Some product changes. Not sure why, but I can't share them. Whatever. All right. 24 model year Bronco Sport. I need to be careful because my smart ugliness, they might take that as negativity. So anyway,
It's not
I don't understand.
negativity.
I don't get it. I don't
We
understand why I
just
can't
would
share it.
like an
So
explanation on
if
why.
how about this? If you guys, so instead of me being able to share it and then answer people's questions without them having to email me, right? Making my job a little bit easier. No, Ford's gonna make my job harder because now what you guys are gonna do, you guys know I know the information, and I'm gonna get like 20 emails. By the way, I go on vacation tomorrow. I'm not gonna be answering my emails.
Or
so,
calls.
so you're gonna need to email her, and you know what? I'll give her the Cliff Note editions. But there you go. So if you have any questions, email me, and right there, email that one right there, and we'll help you out. This next one has to do with the 24 model year Bronco Sport order bank. So that one opens up July 25th, which is a week and a day later. Order guides and build and price will also be live the 25th. So we will not have order guides ahead of time on this either. But at least the build and price will be going live the same day as well. Bronco Sport's not something you probably need to rush to the dealership. The order banks are going to close that fast. It is a model that is important to Ford and that they want to see a lot of these get out there. And it is a great vehicle, by the way. If you're looking for an SUV, I'd rather drive that than an Escape. I mean, it's a great vehicle to drive. I'm even trying to convince the wife to let me trade in the Lightning for a Bronco Sport that I have on order. But anyway, yeah, there was a broadcast. It was the same broadcast as the Super Duty. They did it together. It was a recorded broadcast. There were some changes. Again, if you want to know those changes, email me, I guess, and I can let you know because that's the way it's supposed to work. You go contact your salesperson. They can give you those answers if they know it. And we know it. So yeah. So once the order guides come out, then I can talk about it. I think that's what that means. So until then, I can't talk about it.
Ford, please message me.
No. Let us know. All right.
Derek know.
Okay. The last one I have actually is just kind of it's mainly for dealers. It's not for customers. But Ford is doing. It's important that Ford, they want to get the word out that Blue Cruise is a great technology. So to do that, they're having Model E dealers or sales consultants actually submit a video showing how the Blue Cruise works. And then it's a contest. Kind of cool. So if you're somebody that's at a dealer, sales consultant, your manager hasn't said anything to you yet. This just launched like yesterday, and you have till the end of August 31st, I believe, to submit a video, an unlisted video on YouTube, to them. It has to be less than 2.5 minutes. So I probably couldn't do it anyway. But I'm not a sales consultant, so I don't think I can.
2.5 minutes.
So I don't.
But I'm not a sales
I don't
consultant.
think. What I thought was really funny about this, it says that you can do them in pairs because if you do this driving and you record it driving, you're not allowed to drive and videotape yourself. But I'm like, does Ford not realize the technology of what a GoPro can do? You can suction cup it right up to the window, and you can still do it by yourself.
GoPros?
I mean, you can do videos by yourself without a partner.
So my question is, I am not a sales consultant, but we have sales consultants here. Mm-hmm. Could they sign up and I do the video?
I don't know.
Or help them with the video?
I don't know. Not sure. If you're on staff, like if I did it with one sales consultant and had them do it and I recorded, then we both would win. Because it says the team both would win a prize.
Maybe I need to do that.
So anyway,
team up with one of our sales consultants.
Grand prize is a Mach-E.
Yep.
Because I got enough.
Runners up.
We got some on a lot. I could drive one of those every day until it actually sells. Anyway, so all right. So okay, and the other one was on incentives. So I guess all I'd say of this is because these incentives have to do with the Kansas City region. I won't probably talk about them, but I will say this: a lot of models have very low interest rates right now going on. So Maverick is not one of those. Super Duty is not one, and Bronco is not one. So I'll let you know that standard rates on those, as well as Ranger 24. Well, that says 23 Ranger. None of those have any low rates. But like anything that starts with an E, Escape, Explorer, Edge, Expedition, they all have like 2.9 or 3.9 for 60 months. So some pretty good low rates. 23 Mustang as well. has low rates. Bronco Sport like 3.9 and 60. Again, these are rates for the Midwest or KC region, so it may be different for your area. F-150 is a low rate. In fact, if it's an XLT, you get a low rate and a rebate. And if you have a trade-in, then you get another $1,000. So there's pretty good incentives right now. So you can see those Ford is buying down some of those rates, which is good news for us, meaning that prices will probably see them come down and such. I mean, we're already below MSRP on most of our vehicles anyway, but F-150s. But there you go. All right.
You'll be here on the 21st, right?
21st?
Next week?
I think so.
Okay, that's next Friday.
They won't let me take vacation that long. All right. Any questions on those little updates that I can actually say something about?
If my order is scheduled, can I make updates before the scheduled production date?
Ooh.
Depends how close
Depends
to
on how close it
are.
is, and depends on what the change is. So a couple different things there. So colors usually can work as long as it's not sent to the plant yet, that kind of thing. So
does Ford look at dealer priority codes when picking vehicles to schedule? My dealer doesn't get any allocations and has all Maverick orders at 19. Are we looking at dealers with allocations?
Yeah, you don't. I mean,
can we change an order to an E Bronco? Christopher, you should know that there's not an E Bronco yet.
Yeah, I don't know. They say they're gonna that Woodward Dream Cruise, that they're saying Ford might be announcing something that week.
Ooh.
I don't know. Possibly.
I mean, Jeep went E, so come on, let's do a Bronco E.
So you need to.
Would you trade your Bronco for a Bronco E?
Plug-in, yes. If it was a plug-in, I would. Or I don't know if it's a hybrid. I don't think I would. But a plug-in hybrid, I don't know. Maybe a hybrid too. But not electric, because I mean, going out, if you're getting out, I mean, you're going to run out of battery. I mean, a plug-in's the way to go, because then I can go all electric. Or like if I'm going out and I want to go on the trail, I would try to conserve as much the all the electric battery until I get onto the trail and go in all electric mode on the trail, which would be kind of cool. But anyway, a lot of people don't realize how like an EV goes. Like if you're in full EV mode, on the trail would be a great time for this, because you're getting the torque that you need, not just all at once. It's like, hey, if I want half throttle, whatever, I mean, you just press the gas. You're getting what you press when you press that accelerator pedal. You're getting the torque that you need. So if you want more, you just press it further down. So it's going to be better for the trail than what a gas motor would be. And a lot of people don't realize that, especially when it's shifting from first to second. So anyway,
Ragnarcon says, if Ford does a plug-in hybrid Bronco, that Maverick all-wheel drive hybrid is dead to me. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. So now if somebody does end up putting these things from the broadcast on the Bronco Sport and the Super Duty out there, keep your eye, then I can do a video on it, because it would not be from the broadcast. That'd be right. Yes. So that's, so, I mean, people are already putting the price list from the day on there, which, yeah. So there you go. Okay. Anything else on that?
No.
Okay.
Let's keep it moving.
All right. Recalls.
We don't have our handy dandy Niles here.
I know.
To remind us to hydrate.
Yeah, well, anyway. Okay. Recalls. Okay, just a few of these. Here's one. It's a safety compliance recall, 23C18. This is certain. It says 2019 to 2023 Rangers, 23 F-250 Super Duties, and 22 to 23 Bronco vehicles. This is to install the new tread label. That is your tire and loading information label that's on your door. You know what this is. You take pictures of this. You do photography. So anyway, so this in here, affected vehicles is 29,149. And so some of the affected vehicles may not conform to the requirements of the tire and loading information label specified in the S 4.3 of the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards. And so that one has to be, you have to kind of put that on there. So because of that, or number 110 is what they call it. If it's an in-stock vehicle, then you have to, they're going to send a new label. The dealers need to put those on those in-stock vehicles. If it's a sold vehicle, that label will be mailed to customers or owners the week of July 10th, and with instructions on how to switch out the one they have or put it over it. So you'll just want to replace that label. So the important thing about that is it tells what the tire pressure you need to have your tires at, right? And as well as, your some other specifications on there for your vehicle, so that for towing and such like that. So letters are going to go out this week actually on that. So there, again, not a safety recall. It does say safety compliance recall, but anyway, here you go. It does help. All right. This other one, there's only like 3. This other one is actually a recall that's already been out. It's a customer satisfaction program 22B as in Bravo 34. This is supplement 1. So what they do is when they first come out with the announcement program, which they did a little while back, once they have a fix and such, they add to that news bulletin with that information. So this supplement 1 has the technical instructions for the departments to be able to fix it, and as well as when the owner letters are being mailed out too. So on this one here, this is on certain 21 to 22 model year F-150s equipped with the 9.75 inch heavy duty axle. I think that's part of that heavy duty payload package. The rear axle, half shaft, and hub assembly replacement is what this recall is for. So the instructions are now to dealers. Affected vehicles is $17,549. And so in some of the affected vehicles, the wheel and hub bolt may become loose or break and make a rattle noise. This is often discovered by technicians during routine maintenance, such as oil changes and tire rotations, when a rattle is found coming from the wheel cap. If the wheel and hub bolt breaks, the wheel hub will remain attached and will not separate from the rear axle shaft. So letters are being mailed out the week of July 24th to customers, and the dealers now have the fix. So if this is this is something is a problem, then you can go ahead. They have the instructions and the part ordering information to go ahead and take care of that for you. So there you go. All right. Is this the last one? Yes, this is the last one. This is a safety recall. This one's a safety recall on 2020 to 2023 Explorer and Aviators and 2020 to 2022 Corsair vehicles. And this is actually, we've talked about this already. This is 23S23. This is the rear and 360-degree camera with the blue screen. So we actually talked about this a little while back. There's 421,500 vehicles affected by this, a lot. So in some of the affected vehicles, customers may intermittently experience a rear camera blue image or a blue or black image on the sync screen when the vehicle is placed in reverse or when the 360 camera view is selected and available during low speed operation. So your front camera. Once displayed, the rear camera blue image or full blue or black image may persist for the remainder of the ignition on cycle. So once present, the issue is likely to reoccur on subsequent key cycles. The loss of the rear view camera in reverse increases the risk of crash. So they do have an interim repair, and that's why I released this. Someone actually messaged me on our Google Messages today about this, if they had a fix. They don't have a full fix yet, but they have an interim fix. So you can take this your vehicle in and get that taken care of. The interim repair that updates the camera system software is anticipated to be available beginning the week of August 7th. So interim repair will not close the FSA. So if you close the recall, then they'll say it's been fixed. So if you do the interim fix as a dealer, it won't close that out. So there is a permanent fix. The permanent fix will be communicated in a supplement when available. So that's where the supplement guides come in. So anyway, dealers aren't supposed to demonstrate or deliver a new in-stock vehicle that's involved in this recall. That's why we have Explorers out there. Hopefully, good news, we don't have too many that we can't actually demonstrate right now or sell. Now, letters we'll go out to owners this week actually on that. So and let you know about that. So there you go. There's our 3 recalls. So not major, and some of them, and actually all these aren't new recalls; they're updates to recalls.
Yeah.
So I like to make sure I point that out. Right.
Ragnarkon, I was gonna say that I don't expect Bronco EV to happen for 24, though 25 is a possibility though. It would be the 3.3 hybrid that's in the Explorer. They don't really have a plug-in hybrid powertrain ready for Bronco. I was gonna say unless they've been prepping something in the shadows that we don't know about it. Because if I'm gonna come out with something that's new and improved and big for the Bronco, I'm gonna keep it hidden. I'm gonna keep it secret.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I had someone say,
any questions about that recalls? Probably not.
No, not specifically. I did have someone comment on a video. They're like, well, I bought this truck a year ago or 2 years ago or something, and it keeps having recalls pop up. Well, I'd rather recalls pop up so that they can fix it instead of it becoming a problem and more people getting injured or seriously hurt or possibly death. I'd rather it get solved.
Yep. Exactly. All right. Anything else?
No. Keep it moving. Is it true?
Okay. Is it true? So this week, the order guides came out yesterday on the Maverick, so I can talk about them. And they came out, and a lot of people were concerned about a couple things that were on there. Do you have my notes on that?
What?
You kept that, didn't you?
What?
The notes that I had on the changes for this year for that?
Yeah. Which one?
Are they here?
Which one?
The Maverick.
Yeah.
The one you just edited yesterday. Because there were a couple that some people mentioned. So is it true that the 24 Maverick will not have the keypad entry and the manual sliding rear window, which I think that's the bigger one of any of them. And that is true.
You didn't give me your notes.
That one right there. Yeah, that one. Oh, no, that's not the one I was looking for.
You didn't give me the notes on that. I had to write those out.
Oh, anyway. Okay. So I'll pull that up. I was thinking there were some more things that were different. So I want to pull out and talk about some of these during this section. Let me pull these up. 24 model year. Complete guides. Maverick. I got these all in here. Okay, there we go. So a lot of people are really upset about not having the keypad entry available. XLT in the Lariat trim, it was standard last year in 22 and 23 that you had the keypad entry. That allowed you to be able to, if you didn't have your key on you, to be able to unlock the vehicle using the keypad entry and get into your vehicle and like leave the keys inside if you want, or just to get in it if you needed, to get in the vehicle. Like if I needed Sarah to go get something out of my truck, I can give her the code. She can use the code and she can unlock the vehicle, get inside, gets out, presses the last 2 buttons and locks it.
My example is I could leave. Our water park is notorious for people getting stolen from in the lockers. I can leave all my stuff, including my keys, in my truck, lock it, lock my console vault, and everything is safe.
Yep. So in 23, in fact, let's go. I think I actually have this here. So in 23, I actually have a Maverick right here. Look in here. Oh, wrong way. This is actually trimmer. I was doing something. You can kind of see the keypad right there on the door. Where it's on that B pillar right now. You can see it right there. So that's where it was located. So you can get an aftermarket keypad, right? And it actually would go like this way instead, horizontal instead of vertical. And you can put that on the door if you want. And you can get that through Ford Accessories right now. And basically, because what it does is it takes your remote is like a transmitter in a sense, and your keyless entry remote, and it just changes that to a keypad that once you hit the right combination, it sends that transmit to the vehicle to unlock it. So you can use that, and it's just a double-sided sticky on it, and you just stick it wherever you want. And most people put it right above the door handle, right there. I've seen people put it actually over the VIN number on the dash. people can't see the VIN number, but also put it there. So if they can just press that and then open it, people don't even know they have it. I've seen it in some weird locations, but that's still available. You can get that through Ford Accessories. So that's why I don't think the keypad is a huge deal. But I will say the Maverick brand manager does want some input of people that have already posted online. So if you guys have, I'll look through, do some deep dive probably while we're on our trip. But if you guys have, if you know of a Maverick Truck Club, send me a link to a thread where if you people have been talking about it, because they want some input. Because I think that keypad, they're getting some input that people are really upset about that, not having it this year.
Also, leather wrap steering and wiper deicer.
Okay, leather wrap steering is available.
Okay.
It's not leather. It's soft vinyl. You're not going to see leather on a Maverick.
No.
So it's a
soft
vinyl luxury package. That's where it was last year as well.
Yes.
So that was there. And the windshield wiper
de-icer.
de-icer, yes, is removed from both XLT and Lariat, as well as the manual sliding rear window for your XLT trim and the XL trim. That is gone as an option as well.
Okay, Vols. Yes.
So,
okay. You can lock and unlock a vehicle via the Ford Pass.
Yes.
So
that's why I think they thought it wasn't a big deal.
But some people, like me, their phone is dead half the time. Or, on the other hand, my husband does not have the Ford Pass app. He has me take care of all of that. So he would use the keypad instead of, Ford Pass app. Or, he calls me and goes, "Can you unlock the car for me from across town?" Yeah, sure. Okay.
So I wanted to give you my opinion on this, on what I think about some of these and why we're seeing some of these being removed. So first off, the main reason some of these are being removed is supply issues, right? And so if they're having, and suppliers aren't giving them a full run of the keypads and sliding rear windows and such like that, then they can't build as many because they're waiting on those. Because if that is standard on that certain trim, then they don't have any choice but have to not be able to build that trim until they get enough supply in. That's number one. Number two is the more simplified they make it, the more they can make. The faster they can make them. So if you make it to where you on an XL and XLT, there's no back window. There's only one window to worry about putting in. Then it's going to go a lot. Production will go faster. Yeah. So you'll notice that they're trying to simplify some things. You're seeing that on the Ranger. Now, if you look, Johnny actually talks about this on his, I think it's Toyota. Toyota makes theirs very simple. If you have a certain trim, this is your trim, no options. Here you go. What color do you want? And that's it. There's not a lot of options. There's not all these packages. And then you go up to this one and that one. And so then it's just, there's the content. So, for reference, I actually talked about this probably about a year ago. Ford was changing, like on the Explorer was an example where they had 108 different configurations that you could order an Explorer. Yeah. They are now simplifying it down to less than 40 now. So more like, okay, here's a package, but less options. So less of those standalone options other than those dealer installed options, right? Which I covered those in the Maverick videos, and I was just like, well, it's just because they had them all mixed together and the options on the build and price. I'd rather tell people don't order any dealer installed options. Just get them later. You can put them on later. That's the fun of getting a vehicle, adding stuff, modding it later. Get all the DIOs later. But Ford, anyway, they have it on there for a reason. Ford's realized, I think, that there's a lot of accessories and a lot of people making a lot of money on accessories out there, and they want a little bit of that money. Yeah, is what they want, and that's why they have the DIOs and the accessories available, instead of just letting those companies make money on that. So I think that's part of it, is they want to try to simplify things down a little bit more. They want to build more vehicles faster. Is those two reasons? So that's why you're kind of seeing some of that. So anyway. Yeah, so there you go. Those are some of the options. So what are some things that I noticed? I do have this up. So some things that I found, like I said, I did the same thing. I looked at the two and compared to see what was missing from one or the other. And that's where I did find some of you, just to kind of make you aware on the Maverick, while we're kind of talking about it, that here's some things to keep in mind. I noticed that hot pepper red is now available on the XL trim for color. So that's something that I noticed. And I double checked, because sometimes the order guide can be wrong. So I did double check with the brand manager, and that is correct. They wanted a red color for the XL trim. I says, well, you only had grays, so and you took away silver and gray, so for retail, so you had to give them some color. So now there's like 5 color options or something, and hot pepper red is a color option now for the XL trim, which is something new and different. The taking away the all-wheel drive badge on the back of the FX4 package.
Yeah.
I guess because you have FX4 instead of having all-wheel drive and then also FX4, they didn't want those 2 wordings, so now you just have FX4. Okay. Small cosmetic thing, but let's see what else. Oh, and there is no body-colored mirror cap on any vehicle. You think about that? So on the luxury package, when you went to the XLT luxury package, you got body-colored mirror caps.
Yeah.
Standard on the Lariat was body-colored mirror caps. Well, now if you look at it, standard mirror caps on the Lariat is black painted. And on the XLT luxury package, it is black painted mirror caps. So you will not see that's one way you'll be able to know. If you see a Lariat black mirror caps, if it's not a black appearance package, you're going to know that's a 24.
At least it's painted. I was thinking like the molded
yes, it's
in
painted.
black.
Yeah, it's painted. They're both painted.
Painted will be nicer. Molded in black would just look silly.
I don't like it though. I think it should be. I mean, because it's the only thing that, like on an XLT, if you have an XLT luxury package, you're gonna have the gray wheels, and the only thing that's gonna be painted black on that is the mirror caps.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it would look odd with the contrast of the molded in black.
What's
like you're gonna have.
What's the chat saying about that? They might have some opinions on that
like
too.
You're gonna have molded in black and then paint. Like it's gonna be a very weird contrast.
Yeah. So I mean, like, here, let's jump back over here on this.
They should reduce the price of the black appearance package if they're going to make them all painted black mirror caps.
Okay. So.
Right.
Let's see what. So basically, and somebody watched my video, and so there was a glitch with this. So they thought you could get FX4 with the black because I had FX4 and I selected this, and it kept both of them on there, and they're not compatible with each other. So, well, that's a bad example. Let me go to a red with a black appearance package. So there you go. So it'll look like that. So this top part will be painted black, and so this bottom wouldn't. So that'll be black. So let's see. Let's go. Is this a Lariat? Let's go to Lariat trim. Kind of so see how on this end it's blue up here, black across. So it's what wraps around. They call it a skull cap. So that'll be painted black. So it'll be high gloss black painted, kind of like it would on the black appearance package. So one thing I don't know is they removed the wording. Like seeing the black appearance package, those door handles on the Lariat went to black, right? They took out the wording handles. Door handles were taken out of the black appearance package. So then my other question is, will they have them and they just took out the wording? So they did remove that wording because there was some confusion. Now on the XLT, you actually didn't get any different change. So I get taking it off on the XLT trim for that package, but removing it on the Lariat makes me think, are those going to be body colored then?
Yeah.
And we don't know for sure until then. So anyway, let's see what else did I notice.
Someone said, I guess I'll keep my 23 XLT that I was able to get because the mirror caps are painted. I think you're going to see that. People aren't going to keep upgrading because they want the painted mirror caps.
And I think right now, I know there are some people that they trade and they get a new one every couple years. Right now, until people get their vehicles, people should keep their ones they have. I know somebody that has had, I think they've taken delivery of 4 Mavericks. They found one somewhere while they were waiting for theirs that they got that wasn't the same way as theirs. So they bought it, which that's they were waiting, and I understand that. But then they found another one, a dealer came in and they traded it on that one. And then when theirs finally came in, they traded it on that one. I mean, it's like
how many times are you going to trade this thing?
I'm like, just anyway. But there are a lot of people wanting the vehicle. So
Charles says since the 24 Maverick Lariat is now standard with the luxury package, are there any other fancy options that are worth getting?
All right, since is now standard with all luxury. The same ones as last year. EcoBoost, you can get FX4 and the 4K tow, black appearance package, which on the XLT requires luxury package this year. So
Spec
if you,
says he's had 3 himself, but you've only traded in one of those.
but you
still
mile
have
yours
2.
up.
Yeah, you mile
You get
yours
a
out.
that makes more sense because you drive yours a lot. So I get that. So, but he's also buying EcoBoost, I think.
No, he has one hybrid.
He has one hybrid. That's right. So.
Yeah, but he just took
But
delivery of his third.
some of the early ones were EcoBoost, and a lot of people aren't wanting the EcoBoost. So
Yeah.
you know, you see that as well. But
Yeah.
so
Someone said that our dealership should offer to wrap the mirrors for $24. Shouldn't be a huge cost.
yeah, I don't know if you want to put I mean, you'd be able to tell the wrap on that. But anyway, a body colored wrap might be. It wouldn't be a high gloss. Well, it could be.
No, but
It
they
could be.
can't match that wrap to the body color very
Well,
easily.
they might be able to. But anyway,
Just wrap it in.
so the other thing I noticed was the black appearance package does require the XLT luxury package. Lariat, it's already included because that's the only way you can get a Lariat, because Lariat includes those 3 packages. See what else? Drop-in liner. Oh, they brought the remote start back to both the luxury packages. So remote start is going to be standard on your Lariat trim because it's standard with a luxury package. The XLT luxury package now gets remote start included, and the drop-in liner. So you have no option. If you go XLT luxury package, you get the drop-in liner. And if you go with the Lariat, it's standard with the luxury package that has a spray-in bed liner with the remote start, and those rails are now included in that. Yeah. So let's talk about pricing for a second on that. While we're talking about that, so I did a little math on that.
Yes.
So
I told someone that we were going to talk about this.
So here's some things. So Ford had kind of promoted, and they brought out in the broadcast, which is probably why I shouldn't have been talking about the broadcast. They mentioned in there that the XL went up $800. Well, it went $800 from the price increase price.
Yes.
So if you actually had a 23 order, right, you had placed before there was a price increase, it's actually $1,200 more, not including the destination, which is $100 more. So actually $1,300 more to go from a year ago pricing. Also, the XLT is $1,860 plus the destination extra, which is $1,960 to go up to that. But Lariat trim. So now we know all those packages are standard. So I actually did some math. I took the 23 model year price back in September, and I added the Lariat trim. I added this in here because all-wheel drive EcoBoost. So if you went all-wheel drive EcoBoost, this was the price. It's $222.20 for the all-wheel drive to the price that was from on last year's price sheet. You add the luxury package, you add the Copilot 360, the 360 Assist, you add the spray and bed liner, as well as the bed rails. Actually, I threw that in free because there was a deal with that, right? So I'm even giving them that in for free. And the remote start, when you add all those things together, it's only $5 more this year than it was last year.
With those things for free.
Yes. With the bed rails included as free because it was a discount last year. So because now this year the Lariat includes the luxury Copilot 360, 360 Assist, spray and bed liner, bed rails, and the remote start. So if you add all those to a base Lariat package, base Lariat last year, and the all-wheel drive to get to the price, because that's where you would last year. That wasn't included at the price if you were looking at it up there. There's your price. Yeah. So it's only $5 difference. Unless I did something wrong here, because it does have Lariat up here, and then it says, oh no, I went off the Lariat. This in here just has a Lariat all-wheel drive price of $34,855. So on last year's price sheet, it was actually showed front-wheel drive, and you had to add the all-wheel drive down below. So an all-wheel drive EcoBoost this year is $5 difference than last year more. Now, if you go hybrid, you would on this one, on the new price sheet, you would actually deduct $720 because you would take off the all-wheel drive but add on the hybrid. So it's probably going to be about $1,500 different or somewhere around there. So there you go. Not too bad. And not many of the things went up in price. Trimmer package went up by $500, and the XLT luxury package went down $300, and that's with the drop-in liner included. There you go. Not too bad. But like I said, I've heard a lot of people doing, a lot of YouTubers doing some videos. Some things have come up. Some YouTubers that I've never heard of come up, and they're talking about they're pricing people out because at one point it was a $20,000 vehicle, and now it's 25.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, the 25 price is with destination. That 20 grand price was without it. So, I ask people this: where can you find a $25,000 truck like this?
Mm-hmm.
And they
Yeah.
actually, in today's broadcast, which I can't really talk about too much, but they did mention this, and I think they wouldn't mind if I mentioned this.
Haven't heard that one either.
They said that they asked about is the price increase of this going to price it out of the market to its competitors? Well, we know there's only one competitor right now, and that's the Santa Cruz. And we looked at pricing on the Santa Cruz. They don't have a hybrid, by the way. So if you compare it to all their EcoBoost, they're still cheaper.
Yeah.
To a Santa Cruz.
I've actually considered one.
So there you go. So I think price-wise, is it more expensive than it was? Yes, but still it's cheaper than anything else. It's much cheaper than an Escape. We've had some people, said, hey, if the Maverick was, would you rather drive an Escape or a Maverick if they were the same price? Mm-hmm. And a lot of people said, I'd rather drive a Maverick. Okay, well, Maverick is cheaper than an Escape. So now it's definitely, easier to do. So if you look at we looked at that. I looked at a base Escape that we had out here. It was 28 something. So it's about $3 grand less than that if you look at an XL Maverick. So anyway.
Those of you asking about price protection, give us a minute. That's our next topic.
I was about ready to move to that, and I think I'm ready.
There was one question I was going to say real quick.
Got that on that.
I've lost it. I lost my train of thought. Okay. It'll come back to me later. Oh, Toyota Stout. We don't know. Haven't heard anything.
Toyota Stout, yeah, I haven't heard anything. But you got to remember, anything new that comes out, it's going to roll out slow, like the Maverick did. They're all going to be the same. It's not like they're going to be able to. They're going to launch it, and as soon as they tell you about it, they're going to start making them the next day. And they're going to start being able to do the lots the next day. It's going to take a while to roll out, just like the Maverick did. So, I mean, people are like, "Hey, I can't wait for it to come out." It's still gonna. It's still gonna. Problem is, nobody can. I mean, most of them that come out, they're not going to have a hybrid version. Maybe they will, but anyway. Okay. Are we ready to move on?
If your scheduled production is today, and your order is with us, I'd say give it a month and a half.
Yeah.
4 to 6 weeks.
Okay. They want me to talk about it.
Yes, they do.
All right. Put my timestamp.
Ford is not promising any mid-cycle refreshes at this point.
On what?
Maverick.
Yeah, they're not talking about 25. I think we'll see some things. That 25 would actually be 3 years.
But Ford's not talking about it yet.
No, they're not. Yeah. So the only thing they said in the broadcast. Well, I can't share that, so never mind. All right. Big things are coming. Okay, I said it. All right. Price protection. So we do in this, and today we want to talk about the ways that you can have on your retail orders 3 different versions of some program C&I protection programs that apply to retail orders. So again, a customer placed order like on a Maverick, that would be a retail order. So there are 3 forms of that, and I like to go over this because I've actually covered this before. One of the reasons that I want to cover this is because this is something that I've covered before, but with new people coming in, maybe not have don't remember this. I want to make sure we cover it. So this is something that I probably will get in trouble for putting on here, but for this year is something that was sent out to dealers, and it's actually been out there before, and I've actually shared it before and not gotten in trouble. So there are 3 different ways that your order can be protected. Now, and this is actually I've actually shared this with people out there, but one of them is your incentive protection, one's price protection, and the other is a model year transition. So we're going to run through all 3 of these. And of course, I guess you can read off the screen, but it's a little blurry. Anyway, so the first one is incentive protection. So basically, incentive protection protects the incentives available at the time of order or customer registers for pipeline or delivery hold units. So pipeline means if like a dealer has a stock order coming in and it's not there yet, it's in transit, but a customer wants to take advantage of some incentives that are out right now, they can actually say that vehicle is for that customer, and they can actually register it as it, and then they get the incentives at that time protected. So then when it comes in and they do paperwork, they get the incentives in case those incentives change when the first of the month rolls over. So basically, you get any incentives would be rebates or special APRs that are available at the time that you ordered the vehicle. So when you order, you get those incentives from when you ordered it. It's called the protect date when they go into the Smart Vincent to claim those, which is what it talks about at the bottom. So payment isn't, the dealers don't have to worry about payment. It's going to be there already within Smart Vincent, and they're going to get that applied right away and don't have to have any after the sale payment back to them. So that is going to be given to the dealer, to the customer at that point. So you will want to make sure that if you have any. Now, I'll tell you right now, Maverick did not have any incentives. They did not have any low rates or any kind of rebates last September. Okay. So anybody that's taken delivery of theirs, this does not apply. Bronco as well did not have any rebates or low rates or anything. Anything that's basically hard to get right now, there's no reason for Ford to give incentives because they're selling anyway. Once they have a struggle to sell them, like anything that starts with an E, Escape, Expedition, Edge, and all those, they need help. So that's where you see the rebates and incentives come in. So basically, you can get protected and get those at the time that you order the vehicle. The next one is your price protection. So price protection protects the vehicle price if there is a pricing action taken within, all caps, within the model year. And this is paid automatically back to the dealership 30 to 45 days after the dealer reports the sale. And that has to be in the same name of the person that ordered the vehicle. So if you're taking delivery, let's say one becomes available, somebody else ordered and they didn't take it and you buy it instead, you wouldn't get this because you weren't the one that ordered it. So the person that orders the vehicle also has to take delivery. That's why Ford doesn't give you the money back until after they verified that it's the same person. And sometimes dealers may actually have to give them information if like somebody moves. They have to that's called an exception, and they have to do that. So that's how that works. So this is within the model year. So this means that you order in September of 2022 for 23 model year. It finally comes in. Let's say it comes in March. Well, on the Maverick, there was a price increase of $500 to the destination and the vehicle price, which I think we've been doing this wrong all along. We've been giving them the destination as well. And this here, actually, I believe it's not including destination. But anyway, so you get the price that it was when you ordered. And that's the easy way that I tell people is that I say your dealer should be giving you the price it was when you ordered the vehicle. Straight and simple. You ordered in September and you didn't make any changes to that order. That's the price that they should honor for you. That's the price, because Ford will reimburse you that price increase that happened in February. They'll give you that to the dealership later. Some dealerships are nervous they're not going to get it. This is a policy that's been out since 2016, folks. Ford's going to give you that. So they've been doing price increases. That's the reason they call them a mid-year price increase, even though they may do them other times other than the mid part of the year, is usually when they go to convert over to job 2. That's when they do a price increase. But they've been doing them on the Bronco. Broncos had like 6 price increases, I think, or the Raptor, right? And so they do more often now than they used to. But they will reimburse you back to what it was when you ordered the vehicle. Now, there's a scenario that I don't always talk about. What if you make changes to your order? So in here, in the middle of that, it says that the customer is eligible for this if the original order price is protected at time of order, unless there are changes to the body code or the PEP code, PEP. PEP code normally is your trim level, XL, XLT, Lariat, and a body code is usually on the Maverick was the drivetrain, all-wheel drive, front-wheel drive. They've actually changed that this year. So that's why I want to point this out right now is for people that are putting an order for 24, try not to change your trim because the body codes have changed for 2024. So now there's a body code that's separate for an XL EcoBoost. There's a separate one for an XLT EcoBoost. Lariat EcoBoost. Tremor has a separate body code. Tremor Lariat has the XLT, and then Lariat has a different body code. And I think each of the different all-wheel drives. So they told me there was going to be 8 body codes. So if you change from, you decide, hey, I have an XL hybrid, which is front-wheel drive, right? And then you decide you want to go to an XLT all-wheel drive EcoBoost because you want to get it faster, you will lose any price protection that would have happened. So that's when that change at that time, that's when that price protection would start at that point in time if you make that change. So that's why I think it's important that you try to stick to something or be okay with the price increase if there was one. Now, if there was no price increase happened yet, you can make that change. So let's say typically these price increases happen anywhere from January to March, or April, somewhere in there. We see those price increases. And so, especially in the fall, you can make all kinds of changes as long as it hasn't changed. Where you made that last change for those options are what it's priced off of. So for dealers, it gets a little difficult if we've actually had this happen to some people where they ordered an XLT hybrid luxury package and they had a moonroof, let's say. Okay. So that is price protected. That's the level it was when they ordered that stuff. Let's say a price increase happens in February and they still haven't been scheduled in March. They decide, I want to take that moonroof off and see if I can get scheduled. Well, now that price level, they need to look at both of the DORAs. DORA is a dealer order receipt acknowledgement form, and that shows them when they make any changes or when they order, they get a DORA. So one fact is we received DORAs on all of our orders when they removed the Wi-Fi hotspot from the orders. We got a bunch. I had a whole stack of them because they got new ones because something changed on it. So you would have to look at both DORAs as a dealer and go, okay, well, here's the original price, but they changed the order after the price increase. They removed the moonroof. So they have to take that original pricing, remove the price of the moonroof, which was $995, and remove that from the price. And that is the price they would protect to. Not take the original price when they made the change, which was a price increase in the base price, and then not use that price, which some dealers will do and go, well, they made the change here. That's the new price. No, not necessarily, because they didn't change the body code. They just took an option off. Or if they want to add an option. So let's say the same way it goes. If they say they ordered an XLT luxury package last year, which didn't come with a spray and bed liner, and then there's a price increase, and then they added a spray and bed liner because they wanted that bed rail system, right? Well, that's $495. So you would not take the new price, which is increased $500 plus the spray and bed liner. You would take the original price from the body code of the base price, what they had, and you add the $495 to it. So you got to take both DORAs and use those. So a lot of dealerships don't know that and don't do it correctly. That is how that works. So, and actually, I say that because within this packet that they sent us, they actually broke that out as an example. So that's why hopefully dealers are getting those and realizing that and learning from that and how that all works. Now, the last one you want to talk about is the model year transition. Now, this happens. This is a private offer for those who had a COVP verified order that went unscheduled or canceled within a current model year. A lot of you with the Maverick are going to have this happen to you. And a lot of you are getting these private offers. So if you had a 23 Maverick that goes unscheduled, you have to put a 24 model year order. They're giving you a private offer. So I'm going to keep reading because it says these offers do not protect the price, but rather assist in transitioning customers to the new model year. Offers will vary based on product refresh cycle. So you're not going to get locked into that pricing. That's price protection. That's different. That happens within the model year. When you transition to the next model year, you're going to get a private offer that hopefully will make up most of the difference if you were to order the exact same thing. We don't know what they're going to do on the Lariat trim for those that had a base Lariat and now have to get a fully loaded Lariat, which now has all those packages. We don't know what Ford's going to do. They're probably going to just go from the base price, including those packages. But I guess we're waiting to find out. I think in August is when we'll find out. Something was mentioned on today's broadcast, but so probably August. Give them till August to get that. They said probably prior to the scheduling is when they'll have that information. So, and you guys will get an email of that too. So you guys, as well as dealerships, will get an email of that. Something else to note on this is that all model year transition offers are unique to the individual nameplate. Offers based on price changes do not take into effect incentive changes. So Maverick didn't have any special incentives, but let's say this happened to people from 22 to 23 where they ordered back then, they did have special low rates. Well, when they got put in for 23 and that transitioned, they got a transition private offer, but that did not lock in any incentives. So incentives don't carry over from one model year to the next. Your incentives will be based on when that 24 model year order is put in, nothing to 24, and then you'll get a private offer. Now, there could be a situation where you get a transition private offer and price protection. So let's say, heaven forbid, you order a 24 because you had to transition from 23 to 24. And let's say there's a price increase in January 1st of 2024, right? And you haven't been scheduled yet, or your vehicle hasn't come in yet, you will have a price increase happen. So you will actually get the price protection and the transition. So you can get both. In fact, it even says in here that price is not protected between model years. A customer with a prior 20 model year retail order that was converted to a current 20 model year may be eligible for both a transition certificate and price protection to original price level of the current model year. The two amounts are compatible. So, and there's some cases where that happens. So, big one we see on that is the Lightning right now. Get a lot of people that struggled, a lot of dealers struggled with that didn't think they got both. It was one or the other. So they honored the price, the one, and then still gave them a price increase. But that is not the case. So there's examples of that in the same little pamphlet that Ford gave dealers. So hopefully that explains things. The private offers will show up in Smart Vincent for the dealer, so they don't have to get reimbursed for the private offer. That's going to be given to the customer. Ford won't have to do that. That'll be in there. If for some reason this does happen sometimes, your private offer for that customer isn't showing in Smart Vincent, but you think they are eligible for that because they had a COVP verified order in 23 as well as a COVP verified order in 24, then you need to reach out to your sales and inventory specialists and the CNI team to make sure that certificate shows up for your customer. So dealers, you need to fight for your customers. That is their money. They earned it. You're not losing out on anything. That's Ford's giving you the money. So it's not like the dealer's losing out. That is the customers. Fight for your customer and make sure that certificate shows up, because in some of them, those are finding it. Now, Bronco, I'm going to talk about that. Bronco with the Heritage Edition, we are seeing that happening right now. So if you look in there, if those people that had a 22 model year Bronco, when they switched to 23 and they came out with a Heritage Edition, they allowed for those people to get a Heritage Edition before they open up the order banks. And their private offer is eligible with the Heritage Edition. So some people, when they put in the Heritage Edition, the dealer says the private offer is not showing. That I have confirmation from the Bronco brand manager that they are compatible. Heritage Edition is compatible with this offer. So when the offer comes out for dealers, you get a offer number, and it actually will break out and tell you which vehicles aren't compatible with that. For the Maverick, this did happen with the Maverick. People that had a 22 that went to 23 and the Tremor came out and they said, I want a Tremor. Ford actually said that it wasn't compatible. Private offer was not compatible with the Tremor because the Tremor wasn't available the year before. So there are some situations like that. But with this one here, Ford actually did not disclose that. They said it wasn't available with the Bronco Heritage Limited Edition, but the Heritage Edition it is compatible with and is available. So those of you who have a Bronco Heritage Edition, go ahead and fight for that as well. Brand manager did verify that that has been a glitch, and they're trying to fix that glitch. But yes, they are supposed to get that private offer. And here's one last thing before we move on. Some customers have said, well, what if my dealer didn't give it to me? Now I'm finding out about it. Can I go back and get that? Well, yes. What would happen is your dealer would then get a hold of them and said they should have received this. They already took delivery. We didn't give it to them. What they do is basically that money comes for Ford then at that point. So since they don't do it right then, once they can verify that, and yes, the offer should be there, and they generate that private offer number, they give it to Ford. What happens then, Ford then will pay the dealer, and then once the dealer receives it from Ford, then they can pay the customer. So I don't know how long you can do it afterwards, but usually within the month, that kind of thing. So all right. But I went on, but that is very confusing, and I wanted to go over that because I think it's important. So now I think I'm ready for questions.
Are you ready for the onslaught? This is more questions than we've had before.
Oh,
We also answered questions during the live stream, so we're ending our main topic later than usual.
yeah. Well, yes, we did answer some during it.
Yeah.
So hopefully, again, use the
But even
timestamps.
by answering questions during those areas, we still have more questions than we usually do.
I see what you're saying. But those that are watching this recorded and listening to it, well, if you're listening to it, you're on a
Use the
podcast, you don't have
timestamps.
timestamps in a podcast. But if you're watching this
Come
on
over
YouTube,
to YouTube and use the
if
timestamps
you're
there.
yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, use the timestamps. I'm going to have them, the timestamps actually live right away. I'm actually documenting them now, so it'll be really easy for us to do that. So we should do this every week.
Yes.
They should be pretty
I
accurate.
agree.
They might be a few seconds off because I don't think I started my stopwatch until after like a few seconds. But
It'll
anyway,
get you spot on enough.
they'll at least be early, if anything. They won't be late. So there you go. All right, throw them out there.
Okay, first one.
I'm just letting you know I'm leaving at 9:30.
I agree.
Actually, not leaving, but I'm in the live stream at 9:30. So we'll get them. We'll get them though.
All right.
Going speed.
Eric says, "How can I get my 23 order to be built? I may order a 24 Ranger if my Maverick does not get built soon." Eric, your order is with us, I believe.
Is it?
Yes.
We have 7 allocations, so cross your fingers.
Allocations.
We'll see. We'll find out probably Thursday. Yes or no?
Yeah. If you have not been contacted by your salesman, reach out Thursday or Friday to talk to them if you are with us. Because I had a couple of other people say that they have not heard from their salesman with us yet. If you have not heard by Thursday or Friday, please reach out.
Oh, no. Friday, 5:00 is their deadline to let us know yes or no if they're ordering with us with an email confirmation from their customer.
Okay,
we
so
want
if you
an email from their
heard
customer
by Thursday.
Yes,
you need to contact us.
You email your salesperson and let them know, yes, I do want to order it, and because yes, by 5 p.m. we have every salesperson has their list, and we need to know who is or is not, so that on Monday we know if we can take new orders or not. More likely not, but I don't think it'll happen unless 100 people decide not to order.
200.
No, not 200. We'll get more.
Okay.
We'll get more allocations. It is sales volume. I mean,
all right.
The first month is going to be awesome for us.
Harley Quinn says, "Why hasn't Hot Wheels made a Maverick model yet? I wonder it would sell like hotcakes. Maybe it's a chip issue."
Maybe it. Well, yeah, a chip issue. Maybe it's a Hot Wheels issue.
I think actually Diecast is the one that makes them first, and then Hot Wheels makes them after that. But Diecast is usually the first one to get vehicles out. Matchbox, those are usually the ones that get them out first. All right, Cody Pincus. I haven't gotten scheduled before the 17th of this month for my Bronco. Do I have to call my dealership and remind them I still want a 24 Bronco?
We're not talking Bronco yet. So
nope. So
there's no information on Bronco. So
hold your horses.
Yep. Hold your Bronco. Yeah.
Rolling over orders for Super Duty? ?
Yes. So it'll run the same way. Dealers will have to put in new orders for 24 model year Super Duties if they don't schedule by the 17th. Like I said, we're going to have 38 scheduled this week, so that'll be 38 less we'll have to worry about. Yeah. But yes, anybody that has not been scheduled by the 17th on a Super Duty as well needs to order 24. So, and then if theirs gets scheduled, I think the week of August 3rd, and then they can cancel that 24 order. So it's,
Yeah. So that's why we're saying it. If you haven't heard by Thursday, please give us a call, because not only are we working on Maverick, we're also working on Super Duty.
Yes. So
Super Duty and Maverick are 2 highest right now.
And Super Duty is, we have, I think we have close to 100 unscheduled Super Duty orders. Yeah. We are going to get 76 this month. So probably a lot of those are going to end up getting canceled because they'll get scheduled, but we're still going to have to go through the motion on those orders as well. So now I will say on the Maverick, what we're going to try to do to try to make this thing quicker, because one of the things we need to make sure is every 23 model year that still wants to order, those have to be submitted before they close the order banks. So we have to get those orders in. I mean, last year, it took to get, I think we had about 500 orders in, but it took 3 days to do it. So we're going to have to move fast. So What we're going to do on a lot of people, unless they've already told us what their build is, we're just putting in the way it was last year. With maybe a color change, because again, we can make changes to colors and anything else later. We're just putting it in there the same as last year. And so unless some of them have told their salesperson, I want this color, I want the same thing as last year, but I want this removed. I know like Brandon or Mike, Branson, he wants his the same, except he wants a moonroof removed.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a pretty easy change. We can go ahead and do that at the time. So we're going to go through those in order and order those. There's 3 of us. We're going to do it in an office and I'll end up spending 2 days in Derek's office.
I'll come and give you food and drinks and be the runner for you.
Yep.
I'll come chill with you.
So if I don't respond on emails to you, again, definitely don't want to email me those days. If you're wanting an immediate response on something, you want to email Sarah, call. Sarah answers my phone because I'm going to be deep into putting in orders for
in fact,
Super
for those
Duty.
days, I might have the calls transferred to my cell phone because I see and hear that more often than my actual phone. So for those days, I might have it transferring to my cell phone.
One of the reasons why we had some members last year that I kind of helped them with their orders, that I'm having the sales guys help with them this year, is because I'll be putting in orders. So we want to make sure we're helping all of the McArthur customers.
So we're talking about the die-cast specs, and Nader actually knows someone that works at Maisto. And he says that right now they do not have an immediate plan for die-cast Maverick. I said, well, tell him that they need to get working on it because there is a huge market for it, and they'll see a spike in their sales. He calls me a pencil pusher. All right, let's keep on going. If I had a 23 Maverick XL order but want to roll over into XLT for 24, will the private offer be the same as if it was XLT to XLT?
Nope.
So XL to XL.
It'll be based on your 23 model year order.
So it will be the private offer from going from an XL to an XL.
Yes. And some people asked about that. Well, what's a non-option or something? I don't know how Ford worded it. Basically, it's your base price to base price. So when we're looking at the price sheets we just talked about earlier, an XL base price. Let's say you had an XL EcoBoost in 23, it'd probably be. They're actually probably going to do. I don't know what they're going to do, but they'll do that one same price. If it's a hybrid, they'll probably give an extra $1,500. So that's how that'll work.
All right. My dealer said to come in and give him my order tomorrow, and he'll put it in Monday morning. Should I trust that? Yes.
Yeah, sure. Except it won't be in the morning, but no. Yeah, other than that, yes.
Most dealers will probably be requesting that you arrive ahead of time to put in your order, so that way the day of isn't as crazy with customers showing up.
That way they have the information, they can start putting it in. Mm-hmm. But by the way, order banks will not open up until after 4 p.m. Eastern, just so you know that. They even said it may not even be 4 o'clock. They said anywhere between 4 and 6 p.m. Eastern. So basically the end of the business day for them, because they're done. Corporate's out. 5 o'clock Eastern, we're gone.
All right.
So
how many Bronco Heritages won't be built this year? I think we answered that one earlier.
Ordered with your dealership. I was just wondering how many of your orders will be built this year. We don't know yet. Year's not over. Don't know. Not sure. Because they didn't, I think when on the Bronco one, I don't think they told us here's how many Heritage Editions you should put in and that kind of thing. We had all of our ones prior to March 27th put in. I don't even know how many we have unscheduled. Mm-hmm. I'll do some looking while you're asking questions.
All right. I might know this one. Do you have any wholesale Broncos on the lot because of the recent seatbelt recall? I don't think we do.
Wholesale Broncos? Wholesale. Hold on Broncos. Not currently. But I've heard some people saying that they couldn't take delivery of theirs. Again, that recall date has a window, and at the end of that window is where anything built after that would be good to go. Anything within that window would have to be held. So it'd have to be something that's been waiting and not shipped out for quite a while for it to have that recall probably.
Mhm.
But I know I've heard some people saying that they couldn't take delivery of theirs.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because, like, for me, mine's on that recall,
Yeah.
or I should be in that recall, and I'm driving mine.
Yep.
That's the thing. But I don't have an issue getting to my seatbelt. So
Yeah. All right, ML Culpepper. Are you confirming with all unfilled 23 customers if they want to make it a 24 Maverick or just doing them automatically? We are checking in with everyone because if it's a no, we're not going to put it in. We don't want orders in there that could possibly get scheduled that someone doesn't want.
Yep.
We want to try and make sure that all of ours have an intention and want their vehicle, so that way we can get more people scheduled.
So what we're doing it is each salesperson has their customer on a list, and they're contacting every customer. A lot of them are emailing right now because of that. They want that email. We want, as management team, we want the email confirmation because we want to hear it from the customer that they do plan to order, because we don't want to put in an order. We don't want a salesperson said, yeah, I know, yeah, they want theirs, and then come to find out, no, they're done. They just haven't talked to the customer for a month, and then we put in an order for them. We will have to do COVP again, but we don't want to waste our time with putting in an order for somebody that doesn't want to. So we want to take that time again. We have to put in 500 Maverick orders again, and we have to put in 100 Super Duty orders. So that's 600 orders we're going to have to put in on the 17th, starting the 17th. Like I said, that's 600. That's going to take a little while. So Super Duty shouldn't close up early, so we should be okay with those. But and all these orders, even Ford had mentioned, oh darn it, can't talk about the webcast.
Nope.
Anyway, we're going to be putting in all orders for the reason that I not specified at an 03. How about that? Does that work? Okay.
Yes. All right. So you keep searching for what you're searching for. I'll answer. With the 24 XLT Lux package coming with the drop-in bed liner, if I want the spray-in bed liner, will that subtract money off my luxury package or spray-in? No. You can't get spray-in.
You have no option.
You have no option but to get the drop-in bed liner.
Yep. You get what they give you, and that's it.
But I do have an idea. If you get the Lux package and you don't want the drop-in and you're going to be removing it for the spray-in, turn it into sleds.
We're going to actually, we thought about doing a video. That'd be kind of fun.
You cut out like the round. You could either do the round shield type ones and then use a heat gun to kind of, bend the corners, or you can make like the longer toboggan type ones. Drill some holes, stick some rope in there. You got a sled.
Okay, little known fact here. Check this off. Oh wait, you don't have to. Okay, so if you're looking at this, let's say you go to exterior options. So here's the spray-in liner, drop-in liner. So we talking about drop-in liners. So drop-in liner, you can't really tell on there, but it's 4 pieces. They call it a modular. On the order guide, it actually says it's a modular hard drop-in liner because it's 4 pieces that go together. Well, the bottom piece is 1 piece. So if you look at the bed tray liner, the bed tray liner is actually the first piece of that. It's the bottom piece.
Yep.
So if you like that, just take the other 3 pieces off.
Yes.
And you got the bed tray liner.
Yes.
There you go.
And you can turn the back piece into a sled.
And then the other pieces, So you got 1 piece that comes across here and across there. I think the back piece goes in and snaps in and then keeps the other 2 over. Actually, I've seen them in person. They look much better than the F-150 ones that just kind of slide in, that get wavy on you all the time. This one actually looks pretty good. I've seen them in vehicles. Not that bad. I don't like it because it's slick. So things will slide in there.
Yeah.
So make sure you make your divide your bed so that things don't slide around in there. Use those. But there you go. So
Mom jumped in. She says, "Happy 100th show."
100. I wanted to do something special, and it just kind of popped in.
Someone said, "Where's the cake?"
Where's the cake? We'll do that for our 2-year anniversary. We'll do that on 104. So
2-year.
Where will we be?
4 weeks.
Today is Jaden's Miracle Day.
Yes.
6 years ago, that he had his spina bifida surgery.
He was born for the first time.
Born.
Put back in.
They fixed the patch. They pushed his spine up, put a patch on it, put him back in. Your sister. And then 3 months later, he was born.
Yep.
So that's what he's. Yeah.
So they say
Miracle
that's
Day.
their Miracle Day. And babies that have surgery in utero like that, they are twice-born babies.
Yep. So
born
special.
again.
Next week, somebody else's birthday. Won't talk about that.
Someone's like driving the Bronco or Expedition lately. Mom's like, I have it. It's here.
Yeah. Go ahead and load up the tent and stuff while I'm here. Why don't you? Just kidding. All right.
Yeah, that's your job.
See, 100th is this week. 101, 102, 3, 4. That'll be in August. Ooh, that'll be almost. I think that'll be. But I think the Maverick meetup will be between 103 and 104.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
I like this. I like where it's going.
All right.
Alrighty.
Next question.
Let's keep it going. If/when my dealer know. So there was a question earlier, so I'll merge that into this one. When should my dealer know about their 24 map allocations? They said that they have not gotten it. Also, will 23 rollovers still be limited by dealership allocations, or will Ford bypass that for the rollovers? Or what will Ford do?
Okay. So since you asked, even though they mentioned the broadcast, yes, dealerships already know their 24 MAV allocation and came out last week. So they know that number. So they know what they're supposed to get. And they even broke it down by what trim, what options you take. We're putting our orders in. I mean, we're not going to, the hybrid number that they have is less than what we have hybrid orders for. So we don't have they're rollover orders. It's what it is. That's why we are recommending for people, if they do ask of our customers, if they'll get it faster for EcoBoost, a definite yes. If they go EcoBoost, I can guarantee that you'll get it this year with us. I'm saying the same thing for the XL trim. Go XLT. 53% of the vehicles built are going to be XLT. But also, the rollovers is still with an allocation system. So they know the allocation number. So they are going to try to help dealerships that maybe have more orders than the allocation number. We happen to be one of those dealers. They said there are a few handful, maybe 2 handfuls of dealers that are in that situation. So what they plan for and the allocation estimates are for about 80% of the production. There's about 20% of that production that is not allocated and estimated for at the beginning of the year. And that is because sometimes the plant might be down and such. So they don't want to do that. Which, are you going up this way or down? Up. This is the next one? Yeah. Okay. So what they'll do is they'll on that, they're going to kind of work for, I don't even know what she's doing. I'm a little scared right now. But no, they'll work. They're going to have that extra 20%. So if the production is up and they don't have any kind of down or anything, then it's going to be, then they'll give those extra allocations towards the end of the year. And that's usually how that will happen. So yeah, this is not good. All right.
Everyone in the chat knows.
What?
Mom's been talking to him.
Is that for us?
Yes.
Did she know about the 100th episode?
Yes, I've been talking about it. She says, happy 100th episode.
So we do have cake. Cupcake.
Yeah, she brought them from...
Our car cannot go through Topeka without stopping there. It's not possible.
Little known fact.
My car can, but hers can't.
Little known fact, her Expedition has this navigation flaw to it. Anytime the Krispy Kreme light is on, it takes you to Krispy Kreme. Like, you have no control over it.
If you're going by, it automatically pulls right in.
Yeah.
Same way with smoke cakes. If they're open, it's right by. So just give some content here, some reference to this. So my wife is gluten-free, so she cannot have gluten. There aren't a lot of places that make gluten-free cupcakes in Kansas. In fact, there's 0 in Kansas.
Yeah.
Or in Salina, I should say.
Salina.
And there is a small cakes. So is it on there? Yeah, it's on there. Small cakes. They have one in Wichita. They also have one in Topeka. The one in Wichita does not do gluten-free anymore.
No.
But the one in Topeka does. So when we head to Kansas City, we have to stop there so she can get a couple gluten-free cupcakes. And they are great cupcakes. Anyway, there you go.
Well, and if you didn't know, Krispy Kreme, she can eat Krispy Kreme. She does get some reaction, but not a ton. So she can eat Krispy Kreme.
Because they're not really a cake. They're not a cake donut.
No, but they have like a hint.
Yeah.
Of have
I
gluten
don't
in
know.
them.
Yeah, sometimes that's one that there's certain things that you're willing to suffer for. For her,
Yeah.
it's a Krispy Kreme donut. But anyway, all right.
Let's keep this going.
All right, next question.
MAV price.
I'm not going to eat that in front of everybody.
No, we won't. MAV price protection question for later. Ordered with McArthur 922 will get rolled to a 24 order. Lariat base 4K tow 360 black appearance package since 24 will require Lux and both Copilot 360s. What would offer likely cover?
Okay, so like we said earlier, it's going to be before any options. So your base price. Now we don't know if you ordered a Lariat base, but you didn't have. Oh wait, so now it requires a Lux and both 360s. So you had a base. We don't know if those that had, and I think Ford is trying to look and go, okay, they're trying to manually give numbers and private offers to everybody's order accordingly. And so I think that they're trying, like in this case, I don't know if they're going to say, okay, a Lariat base, this is what you ordered. And I don't know if they're going to say, hey, you ordered the Copilot 360, but not the Lux or the other 360. Right. So I don't know if they're going to make that change. Now, on the other models, though, they're going to base it on your base price. So they're not going to base it on that amount from the 4K. Since that price didn't go up on the 4K, it didn't go up on the Copilot 360 or Black Appearance. None of those prices went up on any of those packages. They're going to base it off of the base price, and that's what they're going to do. So, and that price increases. As we mentioned, the only price increase we've seen is the hybrid is now $1,500 more, and the trimmer package went up $500. So if it's an XLT trimmer, we might see it $500 plus that other price increase of the XLT or Lariat. I don't know what they're going to do on those that had a Lariat base that now has to have a Lariat with all those other, because the base price is so much more. So we don't know yet. So again, I think August. I missed the first 5 minutes of today's broadcast that I can't talk about, but so I don't know. We don't. They haven't mentioned any private offer amounts yet. They'll communicate that in the future, but yeah. And I know some people, they really should tell, because there are some people that are now having a debate. Do I go Lariat if I'm not going to get the extra private offer to lower the price down to my base Lariat price? I don't want to go there, because if I have to pay the extra, what do we end up adding, like $6,000 to it? It was, what was it? I think the package price was $2,600 plus $600 plus $700. You're 13. You're $4,000. I think it was over $4,000 more that you have to pay if they don't give you a price offer for that. Like, I didn't see a price increase from Lariat to Lariat. Like, if you had a Lariat with all those packages on there wasn't a price increase. So the question is, are they going to give you a private offer $4,000 if you had a base Lariat without those? We don't know. That was a long-winded answer for that. But for those people that had, the other packages, they're not going to give you. I mean, they're going to base it off that, because if those other packages didn't go up in price, there's no reason for them to give you any more, because you already had those on your other order. You're going to have to add them to the new order. It's going to be that difference, because that wouldn't have increased your price. Only the base price that went up in your motor. I'd assume all the Lariats will get at least the 1,500 plus whatever price increase. So I would probably see, and my question is, hopefully they know there was a 23 order, that they're going to give them what it was at the start of 23 and not what the current price is. So yeah. So I guess we're in a wait and hold on that. So I'm not sure how much longer it'll be.
All right. So we're going to do some quick questions. Do the 24 dealer allocation numbers include the allocations for the rollover orders? Yes. Because for us,
its allocations are both. It doesn't.
Yes.
Your rollovers have to be fulfilled within your allocations for 24.
Yes.
It goes for every model. That goes for Super Duty as well. Every vehicle.
Maverick meetup. We were going to discuss some of that tonight.
Oh, we were? Like what?
Or are we saving that for next week when we have less to discuss? Like when it is, what we're doing.
Yeah. I don't have the graphic for that, but
let's save it for next week then.
Yes. So Maverick meetup is coming. I mean, we can tell them.
Yeah.
It's the 5th at Oakdale Park from 11 to 1. If you want to continue chatting and such, we can go to. There's a special exhibit at the garage. It's a museum, car museum. We don't have trucks though for the right now, and discounted rate of $12 per person, and that's going to be open till 1 to 4. So another 3 hours for that. So that's kind of what it is.
Can you clarify your earlier scheduling note on Bronco Heritage? You have 8 allocations in Ford is scheduling Bronco specials this week, but there's a hold on production on Bronco Heritage.
Well, I think what they're going to be scheduling this week is Raptor. So that's, or yeah, I'd assume. I mean, yeah, they said there's a, I mean, yeah, I think it's going to be Raptor because, like I said, we had 7 allocations last week. We knew we were getting. They told us about one Bronco Raptor that we needed to give them order number on, and then our number went from 7 to 8. So they gave us an extra allocation to cover that one. So we're going to get 7 regular Broncos, possibly Heritage, but I think this week could just be Raptors.
Yeah. Okay. So I have 2 Maverick orders that look like they won't be built this year. One order is with you guys and the other is with another dealer. Will I receive 2 private offers?
Yes.
Okay. And if you have 2 private offers, how can dealers tell between the 2 for each order? Do they match with a specific order, or can you use it on either of your 2 new orders?
It'll be based on, well, yeah, we don't actually, they kind of, well, can't talk about the broadcast. They mentioned dealers. There are some customers that are going to need to use a different dealer for their new order, and they originally said go to the same dealer, right? Because they're matching it up. Because the thing that's hard for them is to match up that order with the new order. So having to match those up, and if that's with the same dealer, the same order number, same last name, boom, easy to match up. They look at the COVP for last year and this year. They have those same matching. It's real easy to give them the private offers, their certificate number. That's why I would say you would, of course, want to put in a dealer with an order with us and that same order with the other dealer. So put in those 2 again. I assumed you did that so you could see which would get scheduled first, right? And so you're probably only going to use one of those offers. You're only going to be able to use one of them.
Yeah.
If the orders were the same, they'll probably be the same number. You won't be able to use both on that order. So it won't matter. So you can use one of the certificates or the other if they're both showing. Now, if they're ordered differently, you might have to think about which private offer you want to use on which one. But yeah, so there you go.
All right. So when placing your order and re-COVP, that $500 deposit is not a Ford deposit. That is with your dealer.
Yep.
So if you're rolling over from 23 to 24, that is up to your dealer on whether or not they require that again.
I wouldn't think. If they've already received a deposit from you, that I would assume that just would carry over to that order.
Yeah, but that is up to them. We are not requiring deposit.
We didn't do deposits. No.
So, all right. When we put an order in, can customers expect emails from Ford directly prior to scheduling, or should all communications be through dealers until scheduled email? When your order is placed and confirmed, you will get an email. So once it's placed and in the ordering system, you'll get an email. You won't get an email saying that you have been COVP approved. I did talk to someone about that today. They said, well, shouldn't I have gotten I got an improvement email that just means that they received your order. That does not, qualify you for COVP.
And which is required to get the private offer.
Yes. So if someone has an unverified order, that means it did not get COVP, correct?
Correct.
So if you talk to dealer or talk to Ford and they say that you have an unverified order and you're trying to roll over, you will not get that private offer, unfortunately, because they did not COVP.
I'll guarantee you right now, if your order is in, if you call Ford customer support and they could see your order, then it's been verified, because Ford canceled 4,700 orders a couple months ago.
Okay, well, I had a guy say that his is unverified.
Well, they probably verified too. So we have some where, so when Ford told us these are the orders that are unverified, we resubmitted and we looked in there and we're like, no, it is verified. It was with the wrong body code. So we had to redo it. So there was one that was unverified, one that was verified with the correct body code.
Okay. All right.
So that might happen. So they may have 2 submitted for you, but I can guarantee you right now, we did see, we looked at the commodity. Remember, we saw a bunch of priority 99s. They moved everybody that was unverified to a priority 99. And the dealers had like a week or 2 to get them verified and take them. And then they got taken out of 99. And we noticed there were 4,700 orders at one time.
Oh yeah.
And the next week, it was down to 100. So there's like 4,600 orders that got canceled. And so if yours is still in the order bank for your dealer, I can guarantee you they COVP'd it correctly and got verified in 23.
All right.
So they should be good. Just make sure they do it again in 24. And yes, you will not get, she's right, you will not get an email from Ford when you get the COVP verification. Your dealer will get that. And we actually have someone here that does that. When she gets the email, she forwards it to the salesperson. Mm-hmm. So, and I don't know how other dealers do it. There's one person that receives those emails, the person that submits them. And so, we have a pretty good system and process. So, but yeah, we're going to make sure all of ours are verified. So,
okay. If my order is scheduled, can I make updates before the scheduled production date? I think we went over that, but
yep. If once you're about 2 weeks out, then you're done. But you can make changes to color. Some options you can't change, like trims and body codes, but sometimes you can add some optional equipment. Some standalone options usually are pretty easy to throw on. But I will say this, if you try to throw something on, let's say there was a constraint item and you got scheduled because you didn't have the constraint item on there, and then if you throw that on there, what usually will happen is your order date, your scheduled build date will get moved back because they didn't plan on that happening. And then when you change the order, they might accept it, but then it's going to throw you back into when you can get scheduled again, which would probably be when there's not orders there right now. So.
All right. How many Ford Pass points would you get for a Maverick XLT purchase? Is it based on ordered price or OTD? It is the same for all vehicles. It's 42,000 points, no matter what model you get.
Correct.
All right. Can I get the 400-watt inverter aftermarket?
Probably not.
Don't think so.
That is also something they took off. So the optional outlet behind the console, it was taken away from the non-luxury. It's included in the luxury packages if you go there, but non-luxury package cannot get the outlet this year. Mm-hmm. Another thing was thrown on.
Is the electric rear window still available in packages?
The only way you get that is with the Lariat trim. The standard on Lariat trim. No other packages. Is not in a package. Right. It wasn't in an XLT luxury last year either.
So how much would it be for the windshield deicer and keypad delete? So it's not a delete, it's removed for this year.
Yeah.
But I did look it up.
On there.
You can get the keypad aftermarket for what, $120?
I think it wasn't that much. Yeah, something like that.
It was $120. Windshield deicer, I'm pretty sure you can't get that aftermarket. I need to talk to Niles.
I would see that was an item to me I was shocked it was on there. Because there's some luxury. I mean, that's usually a luxury item. I was shocked to see it on the Maverick to begin with in 2022. Surprised. So I'm not really surprised that they took it away. Is remote start the same as push button start? No. So remote start is allowing you to take your remote and being able to say, oh, my car's close enough right here. I'll lock it. I'll hit this button twice, and it's going to remote start my vehicle, and it's running. So I don't have to get into the app to do it. I can do it with my remote if I'm close enough to the vehicle. Push button start would be to start the vehicle.
Yep.
So those are two different things.
All right. I still have 0% financing for my 22 that never got built.
No, you don't.
Nope.
We mentioned earlier, incentive lock is for within the model year, just like price protection. Transition model year is the only thing you're getting when you transition from one to the other. If you had a 22 model year order, and first of all, if you had the 0%, that means you ordered in like September of 21. If you didn't get scheduled, there is a major problem there.
Yes.
Your dealer did you wrong because they should have, if there was something on your order that they couldn't get that was a constraint, they should have let you know about it. But there's no reason why. And just like this year, dealers should have prioritized everybody's carryover 22 to 23 order. We had 120 folks, 120 that carried over from 22 to 23 model year. They all got scheduled before a new 23 order because we prioritized our 22 rollover orders. There's a reason why Ford took over that this year, why Ford told customers, we are going to prioritize your order and make sure they get ordered before new orders within your dealership and within the constraints. So if you put on something that is like, okay, well, they're saying they're going to prioritize mine, so I'm going to throw in a bed cover and splash guards and protective film, that's not going to work, folks. Within their capacity, they will prioritize your order. It's because dealerships didn't do that.
We have, but we have orders that we prioritized
Mhm.
at a 10.
Yep.
And they have yet to get scheduled because they still have those options on them.
No, we got all of ours scheduled. No, you mean
No, new orders that we've had prioritized.
Oh,
that have
after
been
the
looked,
others got
after
done.
the rollovers
Yep.
that have been looked over time and again because they have options on them.
Yeah, I mean, so we had 2 orders that were kind of sticking and were kind of not getting scheduled. And one of them had splash guards on it, and the other one had a bed cover.
Yeah.
Remove those, and it's scheduled the next month.
Yep.
So, so yes, that shouldn't have ever happened, and that's one of the reasons why Ford saw this happening. They actually saw even some of the. So here's the funny part is they saw colleagues that worked at factories in Detroit that had Mavericks on order. That when they looked in the system, they had a 22 that didn't get scheduled and went to 23, and their dealer had all of them at priority 19s, and they didn't have enough allocations for the ending here. So they're going to have a lot of those that don't get scheduled within. These are employees that work for Ford that will not get scheduled because those local dealers didn't prioritize. So Ford saw that. They don't like that. They tried leaving up to the dealers to do that. And so now you're seeing what Ford's plan is. That was in the broadcast too. Gosh, this is hard not to talk about things in a broadcast. They're going to prioritize those orders in their way. I'm not going to tell you how they're going to do it, but when those orders are put in, once they get that 24 COVP verified order in a certain date, I think it's August 3rd, they're going to do the prioritization for you and give it a certain priority number.
Yep. Mailbox your question. If you want to call your salesman here at McArthur, they can go over that with you, and if they cannot, have them talk to me because I know that answer because we have answered it.
What's that?
XLT Lux rear slide window, 23. Move over to, will the protection apply from XLT to Lariat? I need the sliding window. Can I change my order?
Okay, you do know when you go to Lariat, you're not just getting sliding window. You're also getting a luxury package. You're getting Copilot 360, 360 Assist. It's $4,400 for a sliding rear window.
So call your salesman. They can go over your options and what we can do.
We can't put a manual sliding rear window in, that's for sure.
Okay, we've been over this one.
I guess we could see if there's somebody that's got an XLT luxury package that doesn't want the sliding rear window, and we can switch rear windows.
Have fun with that one.
Yeah. Ford thought it was a bigger deal about the keypad, and I'm like, well, keypad, you can order one of those through aftermarket and slap it on your truck.
Yeah.
Try doing that with a sliding rear window. I think is a bigger deal.
Will you have a members live this week?
Will you?
I mean, I can.
Do you?
I will hold one.
Review orders. I think on Friday, Sarah will be doing it on her own, unless I'm available to just be in the chat. Otherwise, I guess if I log in on my phone, then we could do it together. I'd be there and you'd be here.
Yeah.
Which we could do that.
I handled it fine last time you were gone.
And then, so yes, that was the plan.
Okay.
4 o'clock.
All right.
I'll be in the same time zone as you. So, anyway,
right.
So we'll probably do that. So I'll schedule it in here for you. You pop in and then you'll
like we did before.
Then I think I should be able to pop in on my phone.
RagnarCon says Tim needs a t-shirt. Can't talk about the broadcast. Don't ask. And on the back say, but if you do ask, I may accidentally tell you anyway. He can tell you if you're a customer.
Yeah, if you call me, I'm not supposed to do it here, which I already talked about a couple times.
Yeah. Okay. Is just navigation still available on the Lariat?
It is standard now, right?
Standard
because it's included in the luxury package. Mm-hmm. So because it's included in the luxury package, and now luxury package is standard equipment on the Lariat trim.
Thank you, John, for that donation.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Boy, can't find the 24 Mavericks on Ford website. Be nice to come in manual. So they will not have 24 Maverick build and price up until the day
17th
of the 17th.
And manual transmission they won't have anytime in the near future.
Yeah, if at all.
Yeah. Although it's funny when you look at the Mustang, a lot of people are choosing the manual transmission on the Mustang.
Yep.
So
because it's a dying breed and it's rare.
But,
So if I have a Lariat Maverick without the Lux package, what will my private offer be?
we don't know.
We don't know. They say we should change your name to Bruno. No, we need to change broadcast to Bruno.
And talk about Bruno.
We don't talk about Bruno. Hey, Tim, I actually have 2 irrelevant topics and wanted to ask if you heard any further details about the Escape Hybrid Firehood recall. Then also when our order's opening for Bronco Heritage. We don't know anything about Bronco ordering at this time.
Yep.
As for the hybrid,
there is a recall on that. Yeah,
there is a recall. We have not heard an update.
Although I think that recall there is a. Is that the same one?
That's
the same one that your grandpa has on his MKC.
Oh,
you have to park it outside. Yeah, I don't know about fix on that.
Yeah. We don't get day to day on that, but once they have a fix for it, we'll probably get an update.
You should get letters on that too.
All right, we have 5 minutes and we're down to 3 comments.
All right.
If my 22 order got a private offer to become a 23 and still hasn't been built with a private offer for the 24 stack for both years.
Hold on. My 22 order private offer becomes a 23 order and still hasn't been built. Will the actually they did they are trying to figure that out. So that's all I can say about that. Yep. But they're trying to figure that. Like I said, since they have to, it's a lot easy. It's easier for them to see that 23 to 24, but that 22 to 24 is more difficult. So they might be doing individual on those. They were able to do it for Broncos, so I don't see why they can't on these. So I know they're working on it because I had asked that same question to them, and they well, we thought everybody from 22 would already be taken care of, and realized some dealerships didn't take care of them. So they are having more of those situations happening than they thought they had. So they are trying to figure it out. So they'll probably do you right and figure it out.
If 23 order was an XL and they upgrade to XLT, we don't know what that change would be. Also, will I lose my priority? Priority is up to the dealer, right?
Yes. And then, if my order is an XL and I upgrade to an XLT, so your private offer will be based on your XL order. I mean, your 23 order. So,
yep.
And then and will I lose on priority if I go XLT? If you do it now, I think they're talking about now. So going from XL, XLT, whatever the price difference is, plus price protection, you would lose that, right? So we know it's going to be $500 more plus whatever the cost is to go up from XL to XLT. So you just have to see what it is for this year. If you do it now, will you lose priority? Priorities within the dealership. So it's up to them. So.
All right, last question. The dealer I have a 23 Maverick XLT hybrid order with is asking me to come in this Friday, 7/14, saying that is the day order banks open. That is false.
Yeah.
But they may want you to come in on Friday to get your order situated for Monday, and just saying that they open Monday or Friday to get you there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could see that.
Yep. Nope, they open on the 17th and not till about 4, not earlier than 4 o'clock Eastern. So if you're calling, I can already hear it already. I won't be answering emails, but if people email me and say, "Oh, they're not opened," and are they lying to me? And just so you guys know, it's going to be 4 p.m. Eastern at the earliest for 24 model year order banks for the Maverick.
Time.
That's 3 o'clock our time. So we don't know about Super Duty. When that will be opened up. It'd be nice if they opened up the Super Duty earlier and staggered them like they did with the Bronco and the Mustang. That was nice. We'll see.
All right.
That it?
Or do I hang this there? All right, that's it.
Not bad.
No.
That was it. 9:30. See, we can get it done. Now we can eat and we can have our cake.
From Small Cakes.
This 100th anniversary has been brought to you. 100th episode. All right. Well,
100th episode celebration has been
Yep.
brought to you by Small Cakes.
All right. Well, yeah. And speaking of that, thank you guys very much for sticking with us. Some of you for 100 episodes and watching or listening to all of them, whether it be live or recorded. Thank you very much for listening, watching. If you've watched even one or two, got to us late, then thank you for at least giving us a shot and watching our live stream. I really appreciate it. And if you were here live with us tonight, that's awesome. Smash the like button.
Thank you.
And maybe at the end, put in 100 as you're going out. I don't know. Anyway, but thank you very much. Appreciate it. And yeah, I don't know what we're going to talk about next week. This week, I knew I wanted to talk about price
We're going to talk about
protection.
Super Celebration.
Maybe. We'll see. All right.
I mean, that would be on my mind.
So, well, I don't know, because that Tuesday, it might be a very...
well, but if you talk about
order banks, we open.
Well, they will be. So maybe you need to talk about Super Celebration to give your mind a break and an easy topic.
Hey, I'll be able to talk about Super Duty at least, because the order guide will be out,
right.
So we can talk about changes for Super Duty. I would say there's not a lot of changes, to be honest. I'm looking at them right here. There's 2 new colors, 2 discontinued colors.
Shh, we don't talk about
broadcasts.
Can't
tell you what. Can't tell you.
We don't talk about broadcasts.
Yep. There is a feature that I think a lot of people will like that's going to be available on all trims. It's going to be really cool. Let's see what else. I don't know. I'm just looking to see if there's anything to talk about. Yeah. I can't talk about that. Or that.
Before inputting all those orders.
Our allocation number is really good. I can say that. We got our estimate today.
So
it actually looks pretty good. We're gonna be able to get about 20 to 22 Super Duties allocations probably each month on the average. We're pretty happy about that. We know that's the estimate. So I do like the new way they're doing it on the estimate is they're telling you what your according to right now what your sales volume looks like. In the middle, and then it says if you trend up and end up doing well in your selling of your vehicles and you fast sell, that it could be this much more. If you are on like a lower end, then it could be this number. So it gives you more of a not necessarily just this number, but more of an estimate, which is good because they said it was an estimate all along. So now they're actually showing you that estimate gap. So here's what you right now, based on what you have, this is your number. But if you do well, you could be this number. But if you don't do as good, it could be this number. And I like that.
Yes.
Because then it gives you that, because then it really allows dealerships to know. I mean, we looked at the word that said estimate. We figured that out. But other people that don't read everything, they may go, oh, that's my number. I can't go one more than that. And then if they actually look and go, but if I do good, then I can get this many. I can go ahead and take a few more orders. I like that, then given that range. But all right. Okay.
Purdue guy, if you have not heard from a salesman yet, please contact me. I would like to know.
Yep.
Please email me.
Yep. Sarah is going to be here this week. So definitely, if you haven't heard from your salesperson by tomorrow,
reach out.
By tomorrow, by email or phone, then email Sarah, and she has the list, and she can help with that. Make sure you guys have been contacted. So.
I can light the fires.
But we do, yeah, because we need the biggest thing. Even if you could. Shoot her an email if you do want. If you have a 23 order with us and you want to put in that 24, and you haven't heard from your salesperson, then send Sarah your email. Copy in your salesperson as well, and say, I do plan on putting my order in. Order the same way it was. If you know what color you want, if it's a color is discontinued now, if you know that stuff, jot a couple of that things in there. Otherwise, we'll just order it the way it was last year. Other than the color, we might have to just change the color. We can always update those orders later.
Did you send it
do that
via Ford Video Guy or
so send that to Sarah and the salesperson if you have their email address. If they don't, just send it to Sarah, and Sarah will print it out and for you. And so we have that. So we just need all those printouts, like I said, for every customer. So. And so and this is actually new. The sales guys didn't know until Monday and Tuesday that we wanted email confirmations for everybody that wants to continue to place an order. That's just something we want logistically in writing from those customers, so we know we're just not re-putting in an order, because that actually happened last year. There's a couple people that had a 22 order We put in there 23 and they never did the COVP for us. So I'm like, so we really didn't need to, but the salesperson hadn't heard from them. So they just went ahead and placed the order, and we never did COVP. So we don't want to do that. So yes, so we just need that. We want that confirmation from that customer. We're going to have all the sales guys are going to have a printout for each of their customers, so we can see that when we go to place that order. Boom, we're ready to place the order. So,
Purdue guy and LB, I wasn't sure if you wanted me to go ahead and get you with someone, because you said if you don't schedule, I want to put in an order. If you want to go ahead and put in an order, I can get it with a salesman.
Are we talking about Super Duty?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Maverick, you're not doing Super Duty. We should be good. Like I said, we have we're going to have probably only about 25 or 30, maybe 40 Super Duty orders that'll go unscheduled going into next year, and we're going to get like 250 or more allocations. We're going to easily be able to handle not only the carryovers, but be able to take about 200 orders next year.
Yeah, but Purdue guy, yes,
awesome.
I will get that to a salesman first thing in the morning, or I will get it to our desk first thing in the morning, and they'll get it to a salesman. I will tell them that you are eagerly awaiting to hear from them.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good.
All right.
Well,
I get to my babies.
I think that's it. All right. Well, thank you guys very much. Appreciate it. See you guys next week. Thank you. I think that's all we have. So until next week, don't forget to stay positive, be kind to one another,
and be kind to yourselves.
We'll see you later.